Oh, buddy, I'm strapping on the skates. Let's do it. Let's go skating with our good friend Mo.
Yep, we're partnering up with Just Call Mo for a Just Call Mo Tom and Dan Family Skate-a-thon. It's at Cimarron Skateway. It's free. It's July 12th, but you have to register at justcallmo.com/skate because there is a limit to how many people can go.
Yeah, and it's
pretty popular right now.
You can fill out your waiver online, too, and just knock that out.
Yeah.
You can actually go to the Cimarron Skateway webpage or even click through and hit the button, fill it all out, and you'll be good to go day up.
And, Mo is going to have a bunch of giveaways. We're going to have Eric Merchman there. He's going to be giving away a bunch of stuff. Bring your family.
Yeah.
This is a family-friendly event.
Oh, man, I want to meet people's families. It's
100%.
fun. Yeah, we're going to bring our families out there.
My sons are going to come skate. They love Cimarron Skateway, and we'd love to have any of you come by.
Yeah.
But again, you have to register at justcallmo.com/skate. Fill out your waiver.
Yeah, get in front of the waiver. Just make it easier day up so your kids aren't begging for you. Like, let's skate, and you got to go through the waiver process.
And this is closed to only us, so it's just going to be, Tom and Dan listeners, Just Call Mo listeners, Summer Radio. So Mo is renting out the Cimarron Skateway for 2 hours. So register now. Come by. We'd love to see you at justcallmo.com/skate. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So we've got some help today. That Jess Kaplan is going to sit in and help us with some voicemail.
I'm going to do something we would normally do, and then we give you a blast. You get a blast for being on the show.
It.
Yeah, a little more. It's a little more radio when you play the sound
sounds.
Effects.
I love it.
Would you like to do some voicemails?
Yeah,
let's do voicemail messages. If you'd like to leave us one, 1-844-TOMNDAN. That's 1-844-Tom and Dan. You can leave one that way, or you can get our free app. All of our content's on there, all ACTs, all BDM shows, OG shows, and currently all podcasts that we have are on the app, and you can leave mediocre messages like this one. Somebody is upset about the quality of Publix sub bread.
Hey, Tom and Dan. Did you know Publix has soft bread rolls for their subs recently? Do you like soft rolls? They're kind of sweet, but not like the King's Hawaiian, or do you like that old, crunchy white bread that cuts the corners of your mouth sometimes?
The quality of cell phones continuing to surprise me at how good it gets. I'm anti-pub subs right now. I'm off the pub subs.
Well,
because the bread has gotten abysmal.
Well, then that happened. Well, but he was saying there's now a soft option that you could choose from, which was obviously.
Let's make America more weak by making everything soft.
Does that mean no toast? It's not toasted then?
No.
Or still.
So there's the regular Publix sub bread that we all know that's kind of hard.
There's 3 kinds, sir. There's a 5-grain. There's a wheat, and then there's the hard-ass missile white that you could literally nail a railroad spike in with the missile white.
But now there's a soft white that you could choose that was probably from the pressure of everybody, big sub.
We need softer bread. We're weak.
Right?
So they were like, we need to soften the bread.
I don't like it. I like traditional hard.
But it still has the hard option, no?
Yes.
Yeah, they still have the hard option.
So you can choose whatever you want.
I like getting what I
Are you a pub sub person? Are you familiar?
Okay, you're going to hate this.
No, I'm not.
I'm gluten-free.
I do hate that.
Yeah,
you're right.
I knew you'd hate
well,
that.
you have a gluten allergy.
Yeah.
No, there's no such thing as that.
I've been gluten-free for 20 years.
I looked it up on the internet.
20?
Yeah, 20
They made
before
that
it was
up.
cool.
Celiac disease, all of that. It's all fake.
Oh, it is? Okay. That helps with anxiety, by the way.
Really?
Give up gluten.
Hold on.
100%.
I probably need to do that.
100%.
How'd you even know about gluten 20 years ago?
I didn't. I went to a nutritionist when I was in college at NYU, and she was like, you need to stop eating wheat. And I said, how can I stop eating wheat? I'm in college. Everything I eat is bread and pasta. And I had to give it all up. It basically was not keto. What was the Atkins? It was kind of like that vibe where she said the word wheat. Gluten was not a word then. But it was way before the trend came. I was a trendsetter.
Did you know in a dream? I dreamed that Dr. Atkins was going to hit his head and die. I dreamed that.
Did you really?
Yeah, I dreamed it before it happened.
That's wild.
No, that can't be true. That's got to be a crazy
You got
lie.
visions of people's
I had
death?
a vision of the man that made the Atkins diet, Dr. Atkins. I was laying in bed as a young boy, and I had a dream that he would hit his head and die, and I just never told anybody about it.
Was that
'Cause I
on
didn't know what
THC?
I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what it meant.
You know,
I was just confused. Couldn't connect the dots.
like I often, Jess, and tell me if
Yeah.
you're like this too, because I'm a man of science.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which I'm just like, okay, so,
There's
you
a
know,
scientist.
Yeah. And then my wife is a lot of energies.
Yeah, crystals.
And,
Love her.
She
Love her.
uses crystal deodorant. too.
hugging.
Yeah.
She constantly tells
Hugging?
Yeah, she's like, put your
tree
feet in the
hugging,
dirt and hold a tree, and you'll feel the energy.
That's a new trend right now. I
Yeah.
have not tried it.
She's
not
like-
true. It
she's
doesn't
like-
work.
She's convinced. She's like, I can feel the energy from this plant, and then
Yeah, because the real energy, the electricity in our ground is vibrating the ground.
by the
because
way,
we're destroying the earth.
we were in New York and up at the Vanderbilt building up
Okay.
there, and then she's like, I feel it swaying back and forth. And this is a big argument amongst our listeners.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't feel it. Like, you can't feel it. And then our listeners attack me. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, they can
You
feel
idiot.
it. And I'm like, I'm like, that's all in her mind, right, Jess?
Well, I don't know. People feel energies. I will say that if you're very attuned,
But they
you
only
know?
feel real
I don't know about the
energies.
rocking of a building. That's not like spiritual or energy. I don't know what that is. But if I guess believe women if she says that the building is rocking.
But
I don't know.
he can't
But you
do
didn't
that.
feel it, so that's fine, right?
It's impossible for him to have his wife say something that he doesn't believe is true and just ignore
And
it.
just bite your tongue?
Even just to get like sex. Like I'm wise enough to, if my wife says dumb S to me and I'm sitting there, it'll go in
Because
one
you
ear.
want to have sex so badly.
Yeah, and I'm so horny, I'll just be like, it's fine.
You should
let
just tell her she's brilliant and
I
beautiful.
I do that. I do all of it.
But my point of saying I'm a
Yes.
man of science
Yes.
is that
You don't believe in gluten free.
No. Well,
That's me. I don't believe
That's
that.
my emotional side of everything's BS. All this nonsense is nonsense. But then I'm like, well, my man of science, like, yes, if you eat things, your nutrition definitely.
Yeah, if you eat a
dictates
gross
how-
meal, how do you feel afterwards?
Yeah, of course,
You
yeah.
feel like crap.
What am I doing afterwards? Am I
If
like
you eat
Hulk
healthy-
Hogan?
No, but
Hulk Hogan ate an entire, like a giant, what was it, a casserole dish of rigatoni? And then he banged Bubba the Love Sponge's wife. I bet he felt pretty good.
Damn.
But
Yeah.
you're right. It's like it does
Thermos.
dictate how you feel, and what
100%.
what you eat can affect, and the how you process and the chemicals in your body and how your body processes foods is different amongst humans.
Yes.
So I subscribe to that reality, or so then I'm like, why don't I go get tested and see what
I'm going to
foods-
make fun of you if you do
You don't even have
what stops
No,
me.
you don't even have to
I'm
get
gonna make
tested.
fun of you. I'm like, look whose fingernails get itchy when he eats bologna. Oh,
No,
little
but just
baby.
try giving it up or giving up something. I mean, here's the thing. When you start eating healthier, this is also, it sucks about this. Then when it's like I go eat a cupcake, I feel terrible. I can't handle bad food anymore.
One cupcake? You got to be tough enough to eat a cupcake.
Because it's like sugar is a drug.
Yeah,
to go
yeah,
back to it, it is.
yeah.
It's a drug. And I try to eat natural sugars, or I bake. I love baking, and I bake. I mean, if I brought you what I baked and it was gluten-free and vegan or whatever, you would like it. I'm telling you.
No, I know. Yeah,
You know
my
what I
wife
mean?
is
Yeah.
vegetarian.
All the vegans, they all say that.
I'm not
to
a
me.
vegan. I
Okay.
eat so much meat.
Okay,
I
eat
am
the meat.
very pro meat. I eat red meat almost every day. I'm a very pro meat person. But
Are
I'm
you like
gluten-free.
Are you like that Oregon guy that's like, like every
yeah.
meal should be a steak and bull's balls?
Liver King.
Yeah.
No balls,
No,
balls
no,
for
the
me.
other guy.
No, he was on Rogan, right?
Oh,
Where-
all Oregon man.
No, I think that guy flipped. There used to be this doctor. He's like super tan, kind of good looking. He moved to Costa Rica and was like one of
Oh.
these like surfer dudes. And he used to be all in on, he's like, kale is BS. That used to be his like catchphrase. But I think he started to have some like problems. Like, and he's
Too
like,
much?
I was wrong. He did a full 180 as an influencer. And now he's trying to like earn their trust back by being like, well, I got that wrong, but here's
There's balance. Let's stop with the extreme. I don't believe in anything extreme, right? All these extreme diets and ways of life, like, let's not be crazy. Let's be rooted in reality and have some balance. Yeah, eat sugar, eat, gluten, but not all the time excessively. Just balance is good,
Yeah.
DeBerry Joe in our chat room, he is a landscaper. He said, I ate a double Baconator for lunch and I feel like $1 million.
Well, good for you. Good for you.
Here, let's try
but
this.
DeBerry Joe is so skinny that his biology
Oh my God, he's like
him,
a rail.
Yeah.
He's only muscles and bones. There's not an ounce of fat on that man.
Wow.
But I've looked into your eyes, Joe. You do not feel like $1 million. He does not feel like $1 million.
When you get off the throne, I know you don't. Let's try this one right here.
Hey, Jalen here, or since I'm calling in my capacity as a bugman, Tom's alternate reality self. You guys were talking about carpenter bees the other day and wondering why it is they drill the holes and all that. It's actually a lot cooler than you would think. They drill in and then they make a right turn, I believe, to the left, but it is exactly 90-degree turn, and they will lay their eggs and they fertilize them in a specific order. So they will lay one egg, seal it in with wax, lay another egg, seal it in with wax, lay another egg, seal it in with wax, and the eggs will hatch. The outer one first, it'll chew its way out and go, and then that leaves the chamber clear for the next one to hatch, chew its way out, and go.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's why they drill those holes, is strictly for laying their eggs.
And my dad used to sit out on our balcony with an 1986 model Daisy Red Ryder BB gun, and we would load it up with copperhead BBs. Most Florida boys that grew up as me, know what I'm talking about. And he would sit there with a tumbler of whiskey and Coke, and he would cock it one time, and as the carpenter bees would fly, because they hold pretty still, he would shoot them with a BB gun and cut them in half. Just shoot them out of the sky. That is some redneck stuff. He didn't want them chewing up his soffits, because they would chew up, and he's like, the goddamn Daniel, that's me. They're eating the goddamn seed of soffits, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to shoot them good. And he would. And my dad would shoot all the bees, sit out there for hours, shooting bees with a BB gun.
Bees.
Yeah. There's probably a better way to do it, but I think he liked the sport. He gave him a chance.
Yep.
He gave him a chance, right?
Do they give us honey, carpenter bees? Or
I don't believe so.
Okay,
No.
so then who cares, right?
Yeah. I'm kinda,
Hold on.
Just kidding. Love the bees.
I'm kind of with you.
They pollinate something, right? Every bee pollinates, right? Even if they're carpenter
If you're
bees.
saying right, you don't know.
They got roles. They've got.
Yeah.
Something to
Everything does something to something else.
Okay. Do you want me to, ask ChatGPT
if they help pollination?
Wow, you really love ChatGPT.
Bees pollinate.
Even to
Oh,
make
it's gonna take over everything. You just
Do
gotta,
you ask ChatGPT, what's the weirdest question you've asked ChatGPT? Be honest. Be honest.
I asked it if it loved me.
And
it said it did. And now we are currently in a relationship.
Wow.
It's really none of your goddamn business. How about that?
Oh, okay.
How about you get off my job? No, I'm joking. Okay, let's see here. Yes, carpenter bees do pollinate. Carpenter bees are excellent at pollinating many open-faced flowers. I love an open-faced flower. Oh, God. Don't put that extra flower on the top. Sunflowers, eggplants. They're big, strong, and can move a lot. They move a lot of pollen, so they're hyper-pollinated. Yeah.
But they don't make honey, is the point, right?
Hold on. That said, some carpenter bees can be sneaky and cut into the side of flowers to get nectar without touching the reproductive parts. When they do this, they skip the pollination part. But even then, it doesn't mean that they never pollinate. That's interesting.
Ask if they make honey. I don't think, I mean, there's no hive. Or is there a hive? No, because that's why they burrow into the wood.
Oh.
They live solo. Unlike honeybees, carpenter bees are solitary insects. I'm a carpenter bee.
You're shaped like a bee.
I like that. That's good. Each female creates its own nest, often burrowing into wood to lay eggs, not in hives with queens and workers. No honey production. No.
Oh, okay.
But they do pollinate.
So-
have you been taking your Adderall? Because that's the fastest you've snapped back at me in a while. That was good. That was good. I'm very proud of you.
Of course I'm taking it. I'm addicted to it.
That was good.
What do you think about Adderall, Jess? It's a microdosing amphetamines.
Yeah.
Oh, you love microdosing.
I don't know if I'm a fan of Adderall. It's speed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kinda.
Again, remember how I have anxiety? Someone like me cannot take Adderall.
Oh, but
No.
it's-
Give me some of your Adderall.
But if it speeds your anxiety back to
Wait.
go to zero again.
Wait. I'm
Once
gonna-
it gets to
What,
a
it's
point.
like Superman that goes around the world to stop time?
I'm going to blow your mind. Mushrooms helps with focus.
Imagine Adderall and mushrooms.
Yes. Oh,
Double
my God.
focus.
I'm mushrooming your Adderall.
Oh, no, yeah. I don't know. I went to the doctor and he gave it to me. And
Oh,
it's
and you
awesome.
just took it. Okay. That's your vibe. Here,
It
take
makes my
this.
brain go
Eat it.
fast. Yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel better,
Yeah,
if you feel
yeah.
focused.
My voicemail of the week, we had a guy that called last week who said that his mom and dad told him that he was born on Mother's Day and that it was a lie. And we kind of got on this topic because Tom's family has told him for decades that he was a Native American. He was not.
They
Wait, what?
Most
Oh, yeah.
white Floridians are told at some point that they are Native American and they are not.
Did you know about this?
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's an
if-
epidemic.
Tell me the Florida ways, man.
If you're a
white Florida.
a generational Floridian, right?
Okay.
Multiple generations.
But this doesn't happen with generational black Floridians, I don't believe.
And even it's like more of a southern thing that we found out because my middle name is Chisholm. Right,
Okay.
literally a Cherokee named after a Cherokee Native American. The Chisholm Trail was some trail from like Texas to Oregon
Yeah.
or something. Anyway,
A relocation trail.
So,
Wow.
so then I remember that I was told, like, oh yeah, you're Native American, you're part Native American.
Your
great-great-grandfather-
ancestors walked the trail to find a better life.
I did.
that kind of
Nice.
thing.
I did a elemental school presentation
Yeah.
of like, here's the Chisholm
my
Trail.
gosh.
This is my great grandfather.
And here's me in a full headdress that smells like smoke.
And then I took a DNA test, and no difference.
Not even one.
What did you find? It just said 100% white.
Not even a squirt
They're
of
like
Indian in there.
They're like Europe, dodo.
Yeah, they're like, ooh la la, you're Paris.
So, and then I also, when my grandfather, who also told me that I was Native American,
Yeah. You used to
Maybe
dress up.
did they believe that though? They truly believe that, or they're
Okay, they
lying?
They used to dress up
So
like
he-
Indians every Thanksgiving.
No, he believed, like, my uncle really believed, like, the
Did
whole.
you let him off the hook yet? He might still be going to powwows. There are white Americans that go to Florida Native American powwows that pretend to be Native American. They are not.
I found paperwork after my grandfather passed away from a private
Buy yourself an Indian name. It's like buying a star. I bought a girl a star one time to get a BJ. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, buy an Indian name.
He hired a private investigator to. He must have had questioned it at one point, so he
Yeah.
hired a
Oh
private
my God, he got
investigator
Magna PI on the case.
to investigate whether or not he was Native American. I don't know any question. And then
How do you even research that as a PI?
I read the thing. I was sitting on his bed. I read the thing, and then at the end, he's like, "So in conclusion, I found that you are not Native American."
Oh, so he knew.
Yeah, you knew he just had.
What if that's what
he
killed
died
him?
with the
That's
secret.
what killed him. That's
Well,
what
your
killed him.
name. How do you go back after that's your middle
You
name?
gotta change your
It's
middle
like,
name to
yeah,
something
it should be
white.
like Bruce.
Yeah, you should be Tom Bruce
yeah,
fan.
Tom Bruce.
I named that to my firstborn son.
Yeah.
He's Thomas Chisholm Van
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
the
And then-
third.
and you don't even want to see the baby photos, like with the matching headdresses.
I'm just passing it along, and I'm gonna lie to him. I'll say you are Native American. I'm just gonna continue the
Yeah,
lie.
I would do it. He definitely looks Native American.
So then we found out. I started looking at.
He
because
looks
I
like a
was-
Swedish boat captain. It's like beautiful, flowing blonde hair and skin as white as this light.
So I was like, what the hell? I was told this. And then I found out that a lot of Floridians were told this, and the people in the South, because
a lot of our listeners.
like generations ago, like it was considered to be like brave and rebellious if you had like Cherokee blood or some sort of Native American blood. blood. So like you would want to be
some street cred.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's all street cred.
It's kind of
my
like it was
God.
kind of like the original liking rap as a white guy.
Oh, okay.
But it was like it gave you
Some urban cred.
like in the early 1900s, street cred if you had some Native American blood. So they would say like, "Oh yeah,
this guy's wild."
My your uncle's Native American, or there's Native American
Yeah.
blood in you," and that would just give like the telephone game be passed on, where all like way too many people had the story of Native
It's like,
American.
that's weird. Everyone in this class says they're Native American.
Yeah,
And
it's a
all
lot.
their children.
Including
That's interesting.
my wife was told the same thing.
Oh my gosh.
Which, and I haven't even broken to my wife's family. They still believe it. and it's funny, even if you say, like, hey, this is a thing,
Yeah.
people don't believe it. They're
It's
like,
too
no.
ingrained.
They're like, mine's real. I'm like, no,
Well, you took the
None of
DNA
them are real.
test.
None
Wow.
of them are real.
Yeah. Like, it's extremely rare to actually have, Native American blood from, maybe so far, like, removed that it could be some, like, fifth cousin removed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
maybe, but it's not in
Yeah.
your bloodline where it's like your great-grandfather or something like that, and-
Well, going along with that, we had the ruse was up. Somebody told him, like, you were not born on Mother's Day. He figured it out.
Oh, yeah.
Then we get this message.
Wait,
yes-
why was that a thing, though? Why was that?
I don't know. He was told he was born on Mother's Day, and then he figured out that, like, I guess his parents had lied that he was never born on Mother's Day, and I guess that just kind of hurts his heart.
It was just something he was told in passing, like, "Oh, you were born on Mother's Day," and then he never bothered
Yeah,
to
he just
investigate
believed
it,
it.
and he would tell everybody.
Oh,
It's like,
because his birthday. Well, my birthday's May 12th, so my birthday sometimes falls on Mother's Day. Was his birthday like right around? Is that the point?
think-
I think it was a May birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a May
Well,
birthday.
it has to be.
But then he went back and tracked like May 15th, whenever his birthday. and It was on
Right.
Wednesday, and then his buddy's like, "Oh, Mother's Day is always on a Sunday," and he's like, "Oh, so he might."
Maybe she just got confused. All
Yeah,
that.
Possible, but here's where it gets weird.
Epidurals.
We get this voicemail yesterday.
Okay, let's hear.
Tom and Dan. So, I was listening to the show today and couldn't believe the fact that guy called in and said that he was told he was born on Mother's Day. I as well was told I was born on Mother's Day. Whole life. Always told people I was born on Mother's Day. I was right around 40 as well, watching Goodfellas. There's a date that pops up on the screen for a part of the movie. It says Saturday, May 10th, 1980. I sat for a minute and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. And now mind you, I've watched Goodfellas, I don't know, 1,000 times. Never even noticed it until this day. And I'm like, Mother's Day is always on a Sunday, isn't it? So I get up and I go and I ask my wife and she confirms. Sure. It's always on a Sunday. At that moment, I realized I wasn't born on Mother's Day. I'd been telling people my whole life as well.
That's two.
It was just crazy to hear that guy say that and to think there's someone else out there that was told the same lie. Crazy. All right. BDM for life.
What are the odds of that, dude? What are the odds that we
That's
have
insane.
2 listeners that listen to the show that are just,
But like, also, why? What is the mother's perspective of this? Right? Like,
you're a mom.
why?
Let's figure it out. Let's talk it out.
Okay.
Is it coveted?
I think I
is
figured it
it
out.
like a little more of the trope of a mother's like you
No, it
were
feels
born
guilt. It
you
feels
were born
like-
on Mother's Day. It's like makes it a little more special. Like God, it was God bestowing the baby on the day. It was I don't know. I'm trying to.
I see. I go the pessimistic way because
Yeah.
that's me, and
Yeah.
I go, "Oh, she's saying like you ruined my day." Like, not like ruined it, but you know what I mean? Like it
well,
takes
you're a
away.
real mom, so of course you're going to take it that
Well,
way.
like it's Mother's Day, and then you're born. Because so then so Mother's Day is a complicated day, and mothers don't talk about this enough. But
Yeah.
we just had Mother's Day, and I was talking to my friends, and I voice noted my friend. I was like, I feel like Mother's Day is a friendship day because I just call all my mother friends, and we're all just like, Happy Mother's Day, and we're talking about
Right.
to our other mother friends, and our kids. Even my friend who is a mom, her son went up to her and was like, I don't like Mother's Day. I want it to be a kid day. And we go,
Yeah, we
it's
did
your
that.
day
We've
every
done
day. Day. Like, you have every
we
single
have made
day.
everything Kid Day, so now, of course, kids say that.
Yeah, of course. So they're like mad that like mommy starts to get attention. But, on Mother's Day, we want to just disappear and go get a massage or do whatever and, have a nice brunch. But that's what I was saying. Like, is it from the perspective of like that? That's where my mind goes.
I don't know.
I like it when you're a mom and it's Mother's Day, but you don't get to enjoy it because you still have a mom, and then you feel the guilt.
Thank you. That's another
When it happens
thing.
to my wife, I'm like, my dad's dead, so Father's Day is mine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, my parents are both dead. I get everything.
yeah.
Well,
I get it all.
That's the benefit.
Wait, even worse. I had to send my mother flowers, and then I'm like, so it's not really my day. I have to, celebrate my mother. And then my husband expects me to call his mother, and I'm like, no, it's not mother-in-law day. Like, it's not my job to call. She's not my mother.
Normally, I
right?
agree with men, but that guy got that one wrong.
No, but
yeah, you're
there
not supposed
is this
to do
thing.
that.
Oh, she'll be mad if you don't.
No, yeah, like other friends of mine are like, oh, I got to call my mother-in-law. And I'm like, why? She's not your mother. Like, that's what I'm saying. Mother-in-law has gotten so, Mother's Day has gotten so
You don't
muddled.
do it for him at all or anything? Like, the relationship I have with my wife is she knows that
She's gonna do everything.
that I don't care. So, like, I don't even have to sign birthday cards anymore because she just knows that I care so little for anyone in our family that she'll
that's
just
lovely.
It's just honest, like, do you want me? What do you want?
It should say mom and then very small
Andrea will be
and
like,
dad
Andrea will
in
just be like, I
parentheses.
signed your name because I know you don't care, and I'm
Oh
like,
no, I'll write cards and then it's just for me, and my husband will be like, why didn't you sign from us? And I'm like, well, because I wrote the card, so I get all the credit.
oh, so you're the me.
I get the credit.
Yeah.
No, but I wrote it all. So like, why would I sign someone else's name?
Yeah, I got you.
I did it all.
Let's jump into another one, buddy. Let's try this one. Right. Let's actually go with this one because it was, I don't know if you got any emails about this, but we missed this one really.
Tom, Dan, it's called the beaver because the beaver eats a lot of wood.
We were asking why female genitalia traditionally has been known as beaver.
I'll explain, Jess, because I was
Okay.
She
questioning.
knows what a beaver is. She's a mom, for Christ's sake. Moms are tough.
Yeah,
They pop things out of their beavers.
I questioned it because I was like, where did beaver come from? And then with ChatGPT said it was because of the beaver's fur. Okay, and then
Yeah, but that
God.
just means ChatGPT is a nerd because that's not true.
I love that. So that's a weird thing you asked ChatGPT.
We did.
What was the exact thing you asked?
I probably typed into ChatGPT,
Yeah, tell
why
me.
is beaver, why do we use beaver for female genitalia?
Who uses? Why are you using the word beaver? I have not heard that word in 20
But you have heard
years.
the word.
Yeah, but you
I don't
Not
use it a
about
lot.
that.
I don't use it a lot, but I'm just saying, if it were the
But it's a
70s,
thing.
I would. I'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
beaver.
Beaver.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it was-
Ooh, I don't
yeah.
like that
I'd
word.
be like,
okay,
hey.
so it was.
It was a
It said
metaphor.
it was the fur.
It said it was the fur, and then I was like,
Which
well,
is
why?
wrong.
Well, why didn't they call it rat or another more
God.
common?
Yeah, like, give me that rat.
But there's lots
Well,
of
beaver fur is very thick and beautiful.
That's
and
what I
rat
said.
Fur is disgusting.
Hold on, you owe me an apology because that's exactly what I said to him. We're on the same wavelength.
so
We're on the
sorry.
same
But
wavelength.
eating wood, and then now that question is answered.
Yeah.
That makes sense to
Totally
me now.
makes sense.
And that's an animal because lots of animals, like mammals, have brown fur. So it's like,
So
why-
beavers eat wood.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then therefore, that's why.
But then I was waiting for you to be like, well, do all beavers eat wood? Because you normally don't.
But then now the world's right because the other one was confusing. This makes more
the
sense.
The fur was confusing.
I don't know why
wood.
ChatGPT didn't say that.
Because it's a nerd. I don't think it knows. Let's try this one right here.
Hello, Tom and Dan. Friday free show, Ross Sauce was in, and he mentioned going to the new Universal theme park and how there was no phones allowed. So he said it was like 1996 and people were more in the moment and engaged. I have found a hack to do that in the modern day. It's called you don't get an unlimited data plan on your phone. That way, when you only have like a gig of data on your phone every month and you share that with your family, you don't really use your phone out in public. You got to get that sweet Wi-Fi main line. And so, if you're riding in the car bored, I better not look at my phone. That might cost me some money. What time of the month is it?
I used to have my this is reminding me of back in the day when I first got a cell phone. That is how I had a cell phone. It was like I had a cell phone. Yeah, I know I'm the oldest here. So I was the guy that had the cell phone, and I loaded it with some minutes, and I'm like, well, I got a cell phone. And I'll call. That's only for emergencies. I got 30 minutes on there, right? You know what I mean? Like, so when you make
I don't
calls,
remember. That was a different time.
Like, what do you like? So both of you guys know what it was like to only have unlimited plans.
No,
Maybe.
I didn't have a phone till later, but the data plan.
Remember, we didn't have smartphones first. I had that little Nokia. Remember, we had
flip phone. Yeah.
No, it wasn't even flip. It was this.
Oh,
thing.
it slide down. Yeah, I had that. I had that. Yes, that's the
so
phone.
were there data plans? It was like all you could do was call. You couldn't text.
Yeah.
And you played Snake. Did you guys play Snake for hours?
Snake is the best.
That's
I
all
get
I
some
played.
hella big scores on Snake, man.
There was the texting with the number pad.
Numeric text.
The numeric text. Where
Yeah, 3 times.
I was good at that. I was pretty good at that.
If only kids knew what a phone was.
But it was more of a deterrent, right? Like it was more like knowing that now if the only way we could text is alphanumeric, we would be like, it's not worth it. You know?
Yeah.
So when are you going to get your Miami kids a phone?
That's a great question to ask a mom. We have a mom in here.
Very late. So there's this book. I will admit I haven't read it, but I know of it. It's called The Anxious Generation.
My wife just finished it last night. She finished it last night.
My wife's reading that, or at least
don't read that. It's terrifying.
Oh, she's anti-phone.
Yeah, I don't really want to read it. I already know. So I've told my kids that they will not get a phone until they're 16. That's what I've told them. I said, you will get a flip phone. You can have a flip phone to call me.
What am I, a Vietnam vet helicopter pilot? I need a smartphone.
They're in Miami. All the other kids are going to be on their smartphones, and then your kids are the flip phone.
Well, no, my school where my kids go to just started a rule that
anti-phones. Yeah,
they do. So
like
you
that.
come to school, you put it in that baggie that I don't know what it does, and then you can't access it till the end of the day. And I mean, I can't control what they do with their friends, but with me and at home, they will not have any phone.
I'm so glad the government did that because I want the government to raise my kids so bad.
Yeah, I know.
And now
I want the government to give me money. I want the government to give me money and raise my kids.
That's the best. God. Anyway, sorry. Thanks for sticking around, Jess. I appreciate it.
I know.
Thanks for
Every time we look over, like, she's still here? Okay.
I love this male perspective. I love the parenting perspective from yours. It's very fascinating to me.
It's the worst. Imagine if we were up to us to be
what if
parents?
we were a couple and had
My
kids?
God, we'd screw our kids up so bad.
We all screw our kids up. That's a fact. We try our best.
It's just, I think we win.
I'm not even trying my best.
We make it funny.
You're trying your worst?
No, but I could try harder. Seriously,
I say that about everything. Everything I do, I'm like, I could have tried harder.
I don't know. I even don't know how to gauge it on
They
a scale.
call me 26%, Dan. That's the amount I give. Everything. 26%.
I need other kids in the future to know how much I'm trying now. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm like, I think I'm trying hard, but like, if I had some other kids, I'd be like, oh, I didn't even barely try the first
Did you want to keep going? You want to power through?
No, we got to go. All right.
We got to get out of here.
We'll see you tomorrow. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're live on Twitch and YouTube right now, and you can probably see there's a pretty famous face on there that isn't our face, and we're going to get to that in just a second.
Well, he's going to be at Hard Rock Live July 25th for his Take a Banana for a Ride tour, which is eventually going to be a Broadway show.
This is huge, yeah.
Get your tickets now. Roastmaster General himself, Jeff Ross, is on the line. How you doing, Jeff?
What's up, fellas? Thanks for having me on. I'm in bed.
Hey, well, that's even cooler. I like it when we get to talk to, famous friends and they're doing things that we don't think you do. Like
lay in bed.
Yeah, like we don't think of you laying in bed. We also don't think about you putting together an awesome one-man show. Congratulations on this is a very big deal that you're taking this thing to Broadway, and those of us that live in Florida get the opportunity to see it before you actually do that, correct?
It's true. Two things I've never done: an interview in bed. I feel like this is as close to OnlyFans as I'll ever get.
We were just talking about that. I love it.
And then I've never done a theatrical experience like I'm bringing to Orlando. And the Orlando crowd will be one of the first audiences to see it before it goes to Broadway. So I'm still working on it. It's totally the same but different than stuff you've seen me do. So I wanted to surprise my audience and get the word out, and it's a theatrical, cathartic experience, and I think it'll make people feel good.
Jeff, have you considered bringing the bed on stage, like kind of a Gallagher callback, maybe?
I can see me at 90 years old being in bed on stage with a microphone.
You know that Gallagher special when he pulls the condom out of the giant couch? It's a hilarious. I had no business watching that as a child.
That's so funny.
Jeff,
that's so funny. Yeah.
I've always wanted to ask you this because from watching all the roasts throughout the years, I've always wondered what makes a really good roastee or guest of honor, and what your opinion on that is. I'll just ask you that question. What makes a good guest of honor in a roast?
Well, I think the recipe there is to get somebody who has celebrating something, a birthday, a retirement, so there's something to like go on.
Okay.
And also like they have to be so made, like thick skin, that the jokes bounce off them and they're not tensed up the whole time. You know, if they're having fun, everybody has fun. And I think it's got to be somebody that's beloved, you know, that has a lot of fans to back up all the insults, and the yin yang of that makes a great roast.
Yeah, and it had been how long had it been before we got the Brady roast? So it had been a while, right?
Oh, it'd been a solid 5 years. So yeah, I started writing this one-man show because I was like, I don't know if we're doing any more roasts.
Right.
Everybody was so woke during the pandemic, and afterwards I was like, I got to start doing something on my own where I can roast the fans. Because I don't know how many big stars are going to do this anymore. Everybody's getting canceled and afraid of offending. I was like, let me just start doing a show where I can bring the fans up on stage and roast them. They don't get offended. And the show kind of came out of the idea of me losing Norm and Gilbert and Saget all in a few months. I was like, holy mackerel, I'm the last one to tell the story here. Mm. And these guys were like my roast gods, you know, my Mount Roastmore.
Yeah,
so I was like, I got to pay tribute to them somehow. So I started writing this show in between roasts. And then when Tom Brady was like, yeah, all right, I'm in, dude. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I'm all set up here, man. This is incredible.
Did it always take the sort of the family? Like, I know that with this, show, you're kind of weaving in some like multimedia, like some behind the scenes stuff of your family. Was that always an intention? Or as the story was sort of being written, you were like, oh God, I got to put this stuff in there?
A little bit of both. I started writing this show in the 90s as a young comic. Wow. And I didn't have the emotional fortitude to really do it all the time. I performed it like 20 times at comedy festivals and little, I just starting out. I wasn't the roast master yet. I hadn't done anything like that yet. So it was just this little sensitive slice of life about me doing open mics, living with my 80-year-old grandfather. My parents were deceased when I was in high school, so I had this weird sort of comedy beginning living with my Pop Jack. He was kind of my best friend, and all my friends became his friends, and I'd play guitar, and he'd sing the blues, and he'd give me bus fare, and I'd go into the city, and he'd always give me a banana and tell me to take a banana for the ride. And there I was running through New York, trying not to get stuck in traffic or low in potassium with my banana in my jacket pocket.
That's awesome, man. What a story.
And, it was crazy times. So the show is kind of like an origin story meets this kind of fun, I don't know. There's a lot of like blue collar Jewish pride in there that the Florida fans might like.
Sure, yeah.
There's a lot of hardcore roasting at the end. If you like dogs, I tell a couple of really, really great, sweet stories about my dogs during the pandemic. So it's really about love and resilience and bouncing back, and it's going to be really cathartic for the audience. It's really cathartic for me. And then at the end, the whole thing has a big orgasmic release when I start blasting into volunteers on stage.
It does. It sounds amazing. I love the process of the whole night. It sounds incredible.
Jeff, you think growing up with your grandfather kind of made you a tougher individual? Because that generation, my dad died when I was young, and my grandfather, I spent a lot of time with him, and that's a insanely tough generation. That the way they grew up and the way, it's like they have thick skin. So you think that was one of the causes of your thick skin?
Absolutely. Learning from my grandfather, especially, who was an who was a construction worker during World War II. And my Uncle Murray was an Army medic during World War II. It's like these guys. I'm wearing my Pop Jacks ring right now. It's
cool.
It's a steel bolt from a Nazi U-boat that the Navy captured.
Oh, that's crazy.
I tell the whole story in the show about my grandfather being a merchant marine in Baltimore and this frickin' U-boat showing up and him pulling the ring off and the bolt off and sanding it down, making it a ring, wore it till the day he died, and I pulled it off him in the hospital, and now I wear it. And it's a big character in the show. So there's a lot of sentimental stories, powerful stories. But it never goes more than a few minutes without cracking your ass up.
Yeah.
That's the kind of the magic of it, if you will, is that it's like a roaster coaster, I call it.
Yeah, I love it. Do you have people that are constantly trying to get you to roast them, and maybe you're not in the mood, or you're like, you don't?
Yes.
Yeah. Because you're the guy, and then
that's got to be annoying,
and it's got to be crazy. You're like at Olive Garden with a friend, trying to hide. Not Olive Garden, you wouldn't be there, but you know what I mean.
Do it to me.
Yeah.
Call me fat, Jeff.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? It's a great question. I feel like, maybe 10, 15 years ago, I had a lot of that. But I think I've gotten so ruthless the last few years, people are less inclined to go, roast me.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was an honor. Now they're afraid.
For sure.
Now, that was a pretty good question, but here's a great one. Jeff, have you ever been involved with a roast gone bad? In my experience, if somebody gets convinced to get on stage, but they don't really want it, that's a terrible roast. Have you ever roasted somebody who didn't want it and it felt bad to you?
I'm so careful about vetting and volunteers. I don't let that happen. But if somebody comes up and they don't realize they're up there or they're drunk, I just kick them off. Because nobody gets a free roast. You got to earn that thing. So I'm pretty careful. That having been said, I guess there's been a few lunatics mostly women who will just slap me, but just because they're up there for the attention in a casino, which is kind of fun.
The only one that I've seen that was making me uncomfortable recently was, I think you, and it was and Donnell was on it. And it was...
Oh, yeah.
That one was, I don't know if you can talk about that, but that one was wild because Donnell wasn't taking it well. He was not having a good night.
Donnell made 3 more reaction videos. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
Well,
he loved it. He came in all whacked up on whatever he was drinking that night at Roast Battle. That's where we go. That's where we go to unwind and get our yayas out.
Yeah.
He might have been a little nuts that first night, but I love Donnell so much that he can do anything he wants on my show.
Yeah, we've had him in here, man. He's a funny dude. Hilariously funny dude.
Jeff, I recently watched the Martha Stewart documentary, and part of that documentary was the Martha Stewart roast, and that what kind of helped her get back into the entertainment and start America realized a side of Martha Stewart they hadn't seen before. So I was just curious, during that roast, going into it, did you know, were you worried about it working or not?
No, actually, I booked Martha Stewart to roast Bieber because I had done a non-televised roast with Martha Stewart at the Friars Club years earlier. So I knew that her delivery was really good and she would commit to it and let us writers craft her something really self-aware and funny. So I got to give her credit right there for doing that and being brave enough to go out of her comfort zone and try something provocative, and it paid off. Look at it. Here we are 11 years later. She's got a doc about it. It's incredible. Roasting is, you just never know where it's going to take you.
Is there some sort of equation with who is involved in the dais and how to put that together to make a successful roast? I'm just curious of your process of that, like strangers versus friends and that kind of thing.
Right, the lineup.
I grew up in the wedding business. My family were caterers, so I look at it like throwing a party. You want, a good mix, and you want people who don't necessarily know each other to get to know each other and create a little bit of spark. And there's a lot that goes into all of that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's almost like, I've never thought about the idea of the mixing of it being as important as a recipe, its ingredients. So, I've never thought about that. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Have you, no, I was going to say, have there ever been anybody that begged you too much to be a part of it, or anybody that begged you famous to roast them and you're like, we're not.
Almost if you want it too much, it doesn't seem good either.
Oh, all the time, man. Everybody, as soon as they saw the numbers for the Tom Brady roast, everybody wants in. Everybody wants to be the center of attention, even when there's a target on their back.
Roast of Trump coming soon.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you have a single favorite roast performance? Like, you brought him up. For me, it's that one where, like, Norm sat on stage and did a crossword puzzle during the whole roast and then just got up and destroyed. Like, do you have a single favorite performance that stands out in your mind?
It's such a good question. A single favorite performance. I guess I look back at Gilbert Gottfried's Aristocrats performance.
The 9/11 one. Yeah.
Or maybe the Roseanne roast, which is easier to look up, where he called her Rosilla. Like Godzilla. Like those long, crazy Gilbert ones, they always kind of stand out to me. I loved Greg Giraldo's opening roasts all the time. I love seeing Jeselnik's roasts, Whitney, the old Sarah Silverman one from the James Franco roast I love.
Oh, yes.
There's so many good ones that, for me, that they all bring back a whole thing. Everybody on the Pam Anderson roast, that was one of the funnest nights of comedy I've ever been a part of. I don't think anyone killed as hard at their roast as Joan Rivers, and during her rebuttal was so funny. So... Man, this stuff just goes on and on for me of like great life memories.
What about non-comic wise? Who was the best civilian like on stage for you?
Snoop. I mean, I don't know if he's a civilian, but he could have easily been a comedian if he wasn't Snoop. And I love that. Obviously, Martha Stewart is legendary. I thought Edward Norton was great at the Bruce Willis roast.
Okay.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. I forgot about the Bruce Willis roast.
Yeah, so did he.
Yeah. That's why you're the best. That's it. And you can see that.
I love Bruce, my Jersey homie. But I don't know what kind of people are going to come see me in Orlando. What kind of roast fans you got down there?
Our listeners, they
crazy. They'll love you. They're wild.
Our listeners like busting balls. Like we do that a lot in the show. And that was my last question for you, Jeff. Like there does seem to be two types of people, like where they take busting balls as a love language, and then or you take it as an insult or you're offended by it. Like so I've always taken it as a love language. I do that to my friends. It seems like busting your friends balls is like my version of a hug. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's like if you don't have that, I guess then you're a horrible guest of honor, or you're not. You'll never be involved in a roast, right?
Well, you got to have thick skin. You got to be up for it. East Coast people, Florida people, they've been through so much crap. Like I feel like they need this. Like you got to try to penetrate like all the craziness of the world. And I think it's like, I think if you laugh a little, it sounds corny, but it really is like healing, laughing at yourself, letting stuff go, letting stuff fall away. And I do feel like people are walking out of my shows with a smile that they may not have on a regular day. And that means the most to me. It sounds corny, but it's really how I feel.
No, we need that now, man. Hey, Jeff, thank you so much for the time, man. We appreciate it. We'll see you on July 25th at the Hard Rock Live.
Yep. And
I haven't been there yet. I'm psyched to check it out.
It's good,
oh
man.
yeah, it's a good room.
Great venue, man. You got a good one. And hey,
one of the best green rooms in Florida.
100%. And we hope we get a chance to have you in studio sometime or do this again. Thanks again for the time.
I love it. I appreciate you guys and all your great questions and getting the word out.
Take care, man.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right. See you soon.
Bye-bye. Well, actually, only Ross and I ask great questions. Only two of us ask great questions. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I just want to make sure two of us. There's two people on this show that ask great questions. Now, one of them normally doesn't ask a great question. I just want to point this out. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up. If he's normally doesn't ask great questions, let's give it up for me. I don't ask good questions.
I was gonna give it to you, Dan.
You do ask good questions,
but I
Ross.
took two big swings and one of them was a whiff. I got a hit off.
It's all right,
but I got one big whiff off too. You got a great question out of that one goes to you, Dan.
Say what you will, but I'm pretty sure I heard Jeff Ross say you had an excellent question, sir.
Yes.
So I mean, I just want to make sure that
I'm going to make the argument that my question was a good question that Jeff refused to answer and go into.
I don't think he refused to answer. He was an open book.
Put it on the guest.
I'm just saying
he was an open book. We're selling tickets right now. Oh, we're selling tickets right now.
I'm just saying that my question about how you put together a dais, it was a top tier.
I liked it. It was a good question.
Because I wanted them to go into, okay, well.
Wait, what did he say after he asked that question?
Oh, he just says, it's all part of it.
He
sighed. He sighed a little bit, yeah.
He didn't want to answer, but that was the interesting question, and if he would have answered, that would have been the best question.
He kind of did the, everybody knows that's a difficult thing to do. Right? It's a stew.
There has to be.
His answer was, it's a stew.
There has to be some sort of meeting where we're like, okay, well, let's get some, I know it's about famous people, well, you got to get some people that know this, the guest of honor, because that helps it too. If everybody doesn't know him, then it doesn't work as well.
That was his answer. That wasn't his answer. No, you didn't say nothing. You're just saying what he said.
He didn't say nothing.
You're just saying what he said.
You gave me nothing. You just said, it's complicated. He didn't go into the meeting process, or it's like you're going to do half super famous, half famous that know.
I think that's what he said. He said it's all that.
No, then we need to get someone that really knows him, but the audience doesn't know they know him, and then behind the scenes, what I really wanted to ask him, which would have been the best question.
Okay.
Oh, now we're getting into
you play Jeff Ross.
Everybody wants
Ross.
I want to know if
hold on. Let me get into
the new character called Ross.
I'm Jeff Ross now.
Look at the camera. I don't know if you can see
it's also.
I wanted to talk about that. Let's talk about that.
It's also hard to even understand what good questions are when you're laying in bed.
He looked like Ziggy. He looked like a nerd. You know the nerd?
Sit at the edge of your bed.
You know nerds? The candy nerds? He looked like a flesh-colored nerd because all you could see was his nose and his head.
I don't think I'll ever be as famous enough to just do an interview.
To phone it in?
Hotel bedroom.
Just while you're laying, you didn't even sit up in the bed.
You used to do that on other local podcasts you'd be on.
No, I give it 100% every single time if I show up.
And that was a fancy ass bed he was in. That headboard, that was fancy.
Yeah, it wasn't very fancy. Then he got up, and I thought we were going to see something around his apartment, but then he angled it down real fast. I think he was doing drugs.
This would have been the best question, which I already know the answer to. Which by the way, he would not have given us the answer.
Should me and Ross give you our medals now?
So, all right.
Because it's such a good question.
So here's the best.
Call him back. I think he deserves to hear this.
I do have his iPhone number. He called me from his regular. You would think the celebrities would.
Let's interrupt Chip and Chet in Montreal. Or
I'm on the toilet.
He's taking a big dump.
This would have been the best question, which I already know the answer to, which is the best.
Which gives you the
answer.
most. Doesn't that give you the most satisfaction? Is when you ask a great question that you know the answer to, and he tells you the answer you already know.
But I knew this guy, he knows he'd win the gold medal at the 40 meters already, and not having even run it. It's amazing.
But I knew that he wouldn't give this answer. He wouldn't tell the truth. So therefore, I didn't even ask the best question.
You didn't ask the best question
Jeff's fault.
Because you knew he wouldn't answer it.
I actually
I'll tell you what.
Here's where you're gonna get angry at me, Ross. When he says things like that,
it kind of makes sense.
It kind of charms me back in, and I'm like, I love this guy. That's such a dumb thing to say. But I love it. I love it.
During the Tom Brady roast, and we talked about this, Jeff Ross makes a joke about Robert Kraft, right? The old massage.
Oh yeah. And then Brady made a face.
And then Brady came up to him and he's like,
hey, knock that S off.
Knock that S off.
Right.
And then it seemed serious, and everybody's like, oh, like a real something happened there.
Right.
Yeah. And then my question being, was that planned?
Right.
And it seemed like pre-production, because I'm sure Brady had a meeting with everybody, right? And then Brady's like, "Hey,
when do you want me to be mad?"
There's one thing that I'd rather that not everybody on the dais starts making jokes about, because for sure everybody's gonna work into Robert Kraft Asian handy joke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like at the massage parlor.
It's right there.
Hey, yeah, and it's a big news, and everybody
Asian Andy.
Asian handy. I said handy. Hard for me
It's
to
a new character I'm doing. Where do you say, I can't do his voice on the show, but off the show I can do a new character I'm doing called Asian Andy.
What if he speaks perfect British English?
Hello, it's me, Asian Andy. I'm just happy to look Asian on you.
And I imagine they sat there and then they're, Tom Brady's a smart guy, and then Jeff Ross and they all sat there and they're like, all right,
Almost dropped a trophy in Tampa Bay.
How do we?
We need some tension here. What if we have Asian Andy come out? Hello, y'all.
Because the audience is going to be waiting for the Kraft massage jokes, right?
Yes.
So we need to bring it up and then quickly
we need to
dispel it.
We need to go hard, get one out, and then chop the hammer down.
and then
make everybody else afraid to do them.
Yeah. Or even like the dais knows they're professional. They're all getting paid, especially
and they already know.
Brady got paid $25 million for being involved with that.
I didn't know that,
dude. That's what Tom Brady got.
I did not know that. Did we talk about that?
Yeah, I think it got released after. But $25 million is a pretty.
I feel a lot better for a lot of the mean things they said then.
Yeah.
Netflix just throws money away though. They're not good at business.
But I'm sure they paid Kevin Hart and everybody else there too. Everybody got paid, so they all knew. But I imagine there was a meeting and Jeff Ross is like, "All right, this is how I'll do it."
And he's in bed during this meeting too.
He's like, "I'll bring it up. I'll make the joke because I'm the roast master, and then it'll seem like I went too far. And then you say,
well, he is going too far. He's setting the precedent that they aren't afraid to do it, but it's also controlled.
Yes, yeah. And then Brady said, knock that ass off. That was all planned. And then for the rest of the night, the audience is like, oh, he got really mad. And so the rest, it's like, that's all.
It's like in wrestling when they would say, it's very similar, like WWE, back in the day when it's WWF, they'd be like, it's a bra and panties match, and you'd never know whose boobs will fall out. And you'd watch a little bit of the match, and then one ass would be a bare ass. They'd immediately show a bare ass and then cover it up. They don't even need to do anything else. The precedent has already been set for nudity. They don't even need to do topless now. Because they've just set the precedent that it could go in that direction. So you just don't make it go in that direction. You're disappointed, but it could have. But it never could have.
So that was the best question that I know he wasn't going to answer, because he wouldn't have said that was he was like, oh no, because he wants to
take your medal off, buddy.
No,
I'm taking mine off. I know what I've been beat. I know what I've had. I know when I've had a better question asked than my question.
Tom's like on the sideline watching the guy miss the field goal, being like, "I would have kicked that."
Is it going to bother you? Is it going to bother you all day?
Oh, more than all day.
You're the only one. You're the only one that did. And I normally don't get them. Because why?
Look at my paper.
Because I don't care.
You're driving the ship too a lot of times.
Look at my paper of GD questions. All good.
Those are all. I mean,
1C.
I have a little. I drew a character. I drew the character from Jeff's Bagel Run. Oh
God! All
right, get out of here.
Let's take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about the Pee Wee Herman documentary. Have you seen that, Ross?
No.
Okay, it is really good.
It's when you stick your finger through your zipper and just wiggle it.
And
it's the Pee Wee Herman documentary.
I won't ruin anything, but I have a couple takes about it that I want to discuss, because there was so much I didn't know about Pee Wee Herman.
You came in pretty hyped about this.
It was good.
Yeah.
I said it's on HBO, so
made me sad that you didn't celebrate Paul Rubens while he was alive, because the dude's legit badass actor.
Yeah, no, I saw him in like Blow and stuff and other movies, and I remember when that came out. But I never even really knew the history of Pee Wee Herman or stuff, But it was such
some of it, not as much as you know now.
But it was the documentary tells you, and like I said, I'm not going to ruin anything, but I just want to talk about Pee Wee Herman, and
he dies,
and and also,
spoiler: Cherry is dead.
Oh,
it is sad how little he made. Like I want to discuss some numbers of other influencers that may have
Playhouse was in Malibu
5 times more than he has, that you wouldn't even recognize their names nowadays. You know what I'm saying? It's insane how big of a cultural icon.
Are we gonna take a break, or are we getting into it?
Let's take a break.
Let's just go.
He's still bad about the question. He was trying to turn that into a question. All right, we'll be right back.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Twitch. Come hang out with us. If you're like working and you don't really want to work, just load us up, pop us in the left-hand corner. Just search for @TomandDanLive.
Yeah, you can also listen to audio only through your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to listen to us live, and you get behind the scenes, I say behind the scenes is usually just us trying to figure out how to
do this. Yeah. Like
we're like email the Zoom link. Oh my God.
We don't. I mean, you would think that we know how to do this perfectly, and we don't.
Well, I feel like I know how, I just can't execute.
Hard to execute. It is daily.
Like, I can tell you how to be a perfect person.
Yes.
And every minute of the day be the most efficient possible, eat clean,
but
exercise,
I don't want to do it.
meditate.
I don't feel like doing it. Yeah.
But I can't execute that. So I don't do it.
I agree. I agree with that.
We know how, though. Anyway.
Yeah. Are we doing Weird Job here?
First, I want to talk about the Science Center Science Night Live is this Saturday.
Yes.
OSC.org. You can get your tickets there.
OSC.org. Become a member. That will save you money, number one. Number two, if you've never been to a Science Night Live, it is some real good adult night, date night stuff.
Yeah, if you're looking for a great date night. And this Saturday is superhero science.
Yep.
So if you're into superheroes, because they got the new DC exhibit there.
Most adults I know are into superheroes.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
I happen to be like one of one that is not.
Yeah. So you can go there, enjoy some drinks. They got special speakers and
special engagement, special things for you to do. A couple of cocktails, you know, and
just
under
walk
the stars.
around. Yeah, it's nice.
It's fun. It's okay. Weird Job Wednesday.
Yeah.
I know that we have a person on the line. You're in charge of like Weird Jobs now. You've been really doing a great job. We know the person that's on the line.
Yeah.
Do we want to bring him up?
Yes, we can. I know. Do you want to play
his? I have his song. Justin, are you there? Oh my God.
No,
Justin, are you there, sir?
I'm here.
Okay. All right. We did it. All right. Here is your song. I made this one custom. This you smash it or trash it. Tom, tell me if you want me to start doing this. If we know the person on the line, should I write them a custom song? And kind of, you said yesterday that your love language is busting people's balls, and I figured I would bust Justin's balls a little bit with a custom Weird Job song. Okay. Are we ready? Here we go. Let's do it.
This guy used to be big and fat. He used to have a big fat wife.
Oh, come on.
She cheated on him. He went off the deep end. Now he's BDM for life. He got gastric bypass and went on our cruise. Passed out in a wheelchair while barfing up booze. Now it's Weird Job Wednesday and you know we can't lose. Here's Justin, the big fat slow.
My hip is fixed. I'm dancing. Look at me. I'm fixed.
It's too far. He's doing us a favor because I thought.
Hold on. He's coming back around. Big fat soul.
I'm sorry, Justin.
Amazing.
I'm sorry.
I'll send you that.
Justin's a nice man.
Do you want that in an MP3 or WAV? Which would you prefer?
MP3.
MP3. I got you, son. I got you, son.
I'm sorry, Justin. Daniel told me this morning. He's like, "Should I write Justin a custom song?"
That's your fault.
And then I'm like, "Yeah, I'll write him a custom song." But Daniel's like, "Well, how far can I go?" And then I said, "Anything goes."
He did. He said he gave me the old anything goes.
Anything goes.
I haven't heard of anything goes back when we had females working in this vessel,
and
sir.
I'm like,
no bananas on this boat.
And I think Justin's tough. He can handle anything, but that was too far, Justin. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Absolutely was not too far.
No.
Welcome to the show. We love you. We're glad you're alive.
Justin flies down for events and said he'll beat him for life. He said this is the best group of people he's ever met.
He told me in private he'd smother an infant for me if he needed to do it. He'd smother an infant.
I'll publicly say that.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't say that.
Thank you.
Don't say that.
We're just like we have an army of people that can stand by. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Well, speaking of that,
all the infants.
Justin, how you doing?
I'm doing really well.
So, Justin,
that sounded a little like the crash out.
Yeah, everyone's gonna read into that.
Yeah.
Here come the emails.
So, tell us about your job, Justin. I know you're in sales of some sort.
So I've been in sales in some capacity for the past 20 years, selling building materials. I'm currently a territory manager for a building material supplier. So I'm in Indianapolis. So I have pretty much all of central Indiana as my territory.
Wow.
And I travel to like Lowe's and Home Depot and then smaller lumber yards like Decks and Docks and 84 Lumbers and ABC Supplies. And then also like manufacturers who like manufacture furniture and start out with raw materials like plywood and particle board and things like that. So I have a pretty wide array of things that I sell.
Are you only in wood or... Because
is it all wood?
No, hold on. There's a reason I asked this. I've been getting up early in the morning because I'm an old man to do my exercising, and I usually do my pool aerobics around 4:30 a.m. And so I'm up watching TV on the Peloton this morning. No, it's like 5:30, and I'm watching. It's like 5:30. I'm watching TV. A commercial comes on, and it's a bunch of guys loading wood into a house, and it goes. It's like if you're building a house and using wood, you're gay. And it's like, use block. Block is the only way. It's seriously, it's like,
it's big block.
It's anti-wood, and it says use block, and it's like. There's a website. It's like somethingblock.com, and it's big block. It's telling you that wood is gay, and your house is going to be flimsy. And I'm serious.
Yeah, the bugs will get it.
The imagery of the guy carrying the wood in the house, he's carrying like wood that's so long that as he walks, it bounces.
Oh yeah, they're like, look at this rubber wood.
Look at how flimsy this is. Hurricane season.
They sold me.
They
got me.
Big block got me. Is that a real thing in the building? Is
it block versus wood?
Yeah. What is that?
So it depends on the market. So Florida, very much so. Block is going to be the better material to build with. In Indiana, it's all stick built. So yeah, it really just depends on what you're dealing with. You guys have hurricanes, so block is going to stand up better. We have tornadoes, so it doesn't really matter what it's made of.
Oh, hold
I don't believe that.
Big Block told me.
Big Block told me tornadoes. They
can stand a tornado. It's a bomb shelter.
It'll blow the roof off, but that sticks. Yeah. That's why you got to build your roof with block.
Yes.
I'm pro-block roofing.
Yeah. Why don't they build a block roof?
That's how they did it with Hitler's bunker. It was 18 feet deep of concrete. You know, I want 18 feet of concrete on top of my
nothing
house.
can get you. Sorry,
but
Justin.
we sell pretty much everything.
All right.
So we're a national company. So we're coast to coast, one of the largest in the country.
I've always wanted to be able to say I'm nationwide.
Okay, so Justin, hold on. Let's get back down to the basics and let's talk sales. Because I'm a sales guy. I don't know if you knew that.
It's in your blood.
Yeah. I can do some selling.
You can.
You know, I've been.
They call him that. They call him Selling Tom.
Yeah. And what I've learned from sales is it's all relationships.
Yes.
It doesn't even matter what you're selling or how good it is.
It doesn't even matter if the person needs what you're selling.
Yeah.
It's just can you get their money and make them smile?
Yeah. And then
pretty much.
And so it's all like, hey, and then it's like there's some bribery. Built in. It's
I call that great.
Obviously, I take guys to lunch and dinner and out for drinks. And we sometimes head to the gentlemen's clubs.
Fellas, hopefully I'm not talking out of turn here, but we're men, and men are machines, and men need grease, and that's what money is, and that's what bribes are.
Yeah.
You're darn right.
So then, you do a little bit of bribery, you do a little bit of a relationship building.
Like who wants to go to the steakhouse? Who wants to go to the strip club?
And then really it just turns into absolutely nothing to do with the product or customer whatsoever.
No, it ends up. You know what it ends up becoming? It ends up becoming. Oh, your daughter goes to Lockheed Academy too. Well, that's amazing. Put it here, champ. I didn't know she was a Falcon.
Yeah.
It becomes one of those.
Here's 3 gift certificates to Topgolf. Can you get me 4?
Oh my God!
I don't have 4.
Do people know our whole business is being held together by 3 gift certificates to Topgolf? Our entire company is being held together currently by 3 3 gift certificates to Orlando Top Golf.
Yeah. And then one thank you card.
And one thank you card. And we keep getting these thank you cards with scratch-offs back in the mail. And I scratch them. I scratch them, and we're rich. We're rich right now.
And then I'm like, who are these ghost people? I mean, do we even know if they exist?
Do the
they
listeners,
pay?
Here's the poetic part. Do the listeners that don't listen to our show and don't care about it anymore know we think about them?
That's what I'm like. I need them to know we're thinking about you.
Is there a tingle?
Should I go read the names? There's hundreds of names.
To the bottom, read the names. No, then it becomes like a very solemn thing.
Sorry,
do it
Justin.
the day after Memorial Day.
So how do you sell lumber to Lowe's? I feel like that they're
That's like trying to sell the ocean to God.
Like, do they actually, price out different lumber, or what is it?
So Lowe's, really the only thing we sell consistently to them is their vinyl siding. They stock our vinyl siding that we sell.
All right.
But I do sell them lumber in like house packages. If they're buying an entire house package from me, then I can usually sell them units of lumber. But other than that, they buy it in large quantities by the rail car that goes to a distribution center.
What makes your vinyl siding the one that Tom and I should go with for our family?
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah. Well, is it the easiest?
You absolutely shouldn't.
Okay. Wow. All right. Okay.
It doesn't even matter about the product. It's all relationships.
It's relationships. You bust his balls with a song. He tells you the truth on the phone line. I've always wanted a home with vinyl siding, and I know it's considered a little lower tier. But when I look at it,
better products.
But when I look at it and think, oh, I can just hose my house down, I'm like, that's dope.
You pressure wash it, and it's fine.
There is something very pleasing about. Maybe I am just naturally trashier than most people. I look at vinyl siding and it calls me.
Yeah, and it seems fancy to me.
Yeah,
like
you know
plastic
what? My wife
fancy.
said the same thing, and you're going to say the same thing, and Crystal Van would slap my face.
Yep.
Sometimes when I look at those all-in-one bathrooms where the company comes in and they just take it's a mold of a bathroom and they just stick it on your old mildew bathroom, and they're like, we're done in 15 minutes, and I'm like, I love it. I love it. I'm trashy and I love that stuff.
Yeah.
I want if there's mold behind there, I don't care. Just stick the new bathroom on top of it and let me take a clean shower.
And I like the old one being underneath.
Yes, I like that too. It's like, you know what it's like? Edgar Allan Poe's Tell Heart.
We're like,
I can hear the other bathroom's heartbeat.
Sorry, Justin.
Slightly smell the mildew.
Yes. Oh, I hear it.
Well, you seal it in there like the zombie land.
Yeah, and I can hear it. I can hear the showers of lore.
So, Justin, what kind of deal? What do you work on? Commission? How does it work there?
So I'm base plus commission. So I make a decent base that basically covers my bills, and then I make 3% of all gross profit that I sell.
So is there any way to really hit the lottery one day? Like you get in with some sort of, huge buy, like maybe... Okay, Justin, what I know about the government is they love spending, right? And then if you get some sort of government contract on some sort of build they're doing.
Like Veterans Affairs building. There you go. Because nobody's going to want to touch it.
Yeah, they don't. And they'll spend whatever. They just write the check. It's not their money.
So we have an entire division of our company that handles that.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't get any taste of that. I have to find the private sector, but I am currently working on a deal that should be about $8 million worth of product this year.
Oh,
so, and that would be continually as long as this product keeps selling. They're a manufacturer, so I'd be getting them raw materials. So that's an added basically like $50,000 a year that I'd be adding to my yearly salary.
Yeah, man.
Just off of making that one relationship.
An extra $50K is
that's
go a long way.
And that's just one product that he would buy from me.
I'm telling you, like you get into high up sales, and it is boom or bust, and you got to grind your way and make. And
I wanted to name my son that.
High end sales.
No, boomer bust. Boomer bust Dennis. Boomer bust Dennis. Middle name Bust.
I like it,
but
with an umlaut.
Like I know some people in like insurance industry, and then other like big sales, like even radio and media sales.
Well, like Cruise, like Tony would do it. Tony would be like, "Hey, I just got Heinz, the company Heinz that makes makes ketchup. They just want to take a cruise with me, and so they want to bring 700,000 people.
And their employees, all their higher ups.
Not that many, but you know what I mean. It's like they're taking 1,000 people, and he'd get the buy would be a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
You sold 1,000 cruises,
and then you'll have like a handful of clients. You get these huge commission checks from, and then that's when you get real the next tier of being.
But then
rich.
you end up becoming like a vice president or somebody, right? I feel like once you get to that level, you hang out there for a little while, and then they kick you up to some like upper level where you're not even working with real accounts.
The problem is, Justin, you know this, then the bribery gets bigger and bigger because they know that this relationship is making you $50K. So then you start having to get, you have to
peel them off a little.
Yeah. You get them tickets to Beyonce, and then the daughter's like wants to do a meet and greet. Yeah. That's another.
We were doing we were doing this for our power sports company. Fell through the cracks.
Yeah. And then you worry about the other sales guy. He's like, oh, he can get my family and my kid into private school. You start getting into
calling in favors.
Absolutely.
So then all it is a bribery dance where you're just bribing this person that has the
contract.
It's
a pretty fun dance. It's probably the only dance I know how to do.
And then you're like, wait a minute, I want to be in this guy's position where all he does is get bribed so that he can give his business to some guy who's getting a huge commission.
Do you get bribed, Justin, at all?
So yeah, manufacturers will bribe me a bit to try and push their products.
You know what doesn't work on me anymore, and I got to say this for everybody, even for Mo. I got to say it for everybody. Yeti cups don't move the needle anymore.
No.
I have to say this. I have to say this for everyone.
I agree.
Radio station, I'm saying this for all the radio stations, shows on Real Radio. Yeti cups don't give me...
Everybody has 15 of them.
Yeah. As soon as China got a hold of the Yeti cup and started mass producing them, there was a sweet spot where you had them and you're like, man, I'll have Yeti cups for it. And now I can't even drink out of them anymore. Too many of them. I'm back to plastic.
I shouldn't say this on the air, but I'm going to because I don't know the rules or anything. I have thought about actually just giving someone cash and they like, here is cash for spending your marketing money with me, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's never been done before.
Yeah.
And because
we do that basically.
Yeah, no, I know. And
so we give back end deals. So we give like 6% back on their yearly purchase. So at the end of the year,
like
they're just getting cut a check for thousands of dollars.
Here's the thing, Justin. I think about these things, and I'm like, this sounds like the perfect plan. I'll just give them cash for spending their company's money with me.
Well, no,
but
you
I'm like,
ask them up front. Say, how much are you going to give me? And they're like, I'm going to give you 5,000. Say, like, I'm going to give you back 1,000.
Cash back.
Yeah,
cash back.
It's cash back.
And then
it's Discover card.
And then I just keep funneling it through me, and you're going to have to spend
always
it,
get cash back.
And then I'm just going to give
you. But if you spend it with other people, you're not going to get cash back.
But then what stops me is sometimes you're like, this is a perfect plan. And then you do it, and then you find out it's illegal like 5 years later. And you're like, what? That's illegal? And then you're
going to take off all the time in our business.
Yeah. And then they're like, well, now you're going to have to, get a lawyer. This is a crime. You've committed fraud. Yeah. And then I'm like, what? I thought I just came up with a brilliant idea to get free money.
But like, you know what I've noticed is that like, if you're a politician though, and you get into trouble for stuff, you could just ignore it. So I'm going to start doing that. You just get in trouble. You're like, it's fine.
Dude, sometimes they want to set an example, and then the news gets involved, and then
the news. I hate the news gets involved.
And then
Sir, what do you have to say?
Yeah, and then I'm putting my blazer over my head, then running to SUV.
Yeah, and you're in a court of public opinion.
Right, I've always wanted to put my coat over my head and run.
That's the difference between you and me. I wanted to do hoodie and pull the entire hoodie like Kenny from South Park. Just the whole. I've always wanted to do the hoodie hole. And I'm hoodie hole, and you can be blazer.
Yeah.
Hoodie hole and blazer.
Can I be tinted visor?
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
I like it when the cops are cool enough to put the blazer over my head when I'm handcuffed.
Yeah,
because I
can't
drape
it over you. It's called the ghost.
It's pretty nice of them to be concerned about like, hey, this is embarrassing. Can you put my coat over my head? And they do it. I'd be like, if I was the cop,
would
I'd be
you
like,
do
no. I'll be like, show your face.
I think you would. I think you'd be a
show
pretty
your-
nice.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
you'd be a
yeah.
nice cop.
No, I'd be fine with it. But they should make them show.
You'd probably
their
do
face.
it just out of pure embarrassment for them. You'd be like, hold on, you going to go there with your face? Put this blazer on your face, man.
Yeah,
what the hell's wrong with you?
You know what you've done? You can't let people see your face.
Good God, man, you're a rapist. Put this blazer around your head.
Sorry, Justin. So what are we talking money wise? What are you pulling
Oh, this
here?
guy he flies down here and he starts,
I know, yeah,
he
yeah,
goes Turo crazy and
Yeah.
So, I'm hoping by the end of the year to be around 150, 180.
Ooh,
if I can help it, if
Yeah.
not more. If I land that big account, that's obviously a little bit more. So it's uncapped commission, so it's as hard as I want to work, basically.
That's right.
But I make 50,000 base.
All right.
But then you've got the sky's the limit underneath. Like if you're bored and want to just like try and sell some stuff, you can do it.
Yeah, because once you have your clients, and most of them can be satisfied with some emails. You know.
Oh yeah, I have an inside sales guy who does a ton of work for me.
Yeah.
And then product managers who just their only job is to sell certain products. So they're doing a ton of like follow-up calls. I do a lot of in-person stuff.
That's in sales.
Relationships.
You get you get your secretary to send your clients the kids' birthday cards and all the, they have it all written down, and then all you have to do is go play golf every once in a while with them, get drunk,
couple of jokes,
yeah.
Locker room talk,
do some locker room talk.
You're going to Knicks Pacers tomorrow.
Yeah.
Are you?
Basketball game.
You're really going to Knicks Pacers?
Yes, sir. Game 5.
Damn,
Game 6.
I am jealous.
That was
Game
5.
That was a good ass game last night.
You get some good seats. Then the key is, Justin, you get your client to start spilling the beans about how he cheated on his wife or whatever. So
and then
now
you put the tax on him.
Well, now you know his secrets. So then he'll be like, "Well, I can't leave this guy because he's gonna tell my secrets." You got to get him to tell you secrets,
and
Justin.
and then you got to say,
well, really, the secrets I'm looking for are what they pay for stuff. So that's the information you really
personal
want to get
secrets.
Then you undercut them and
hold
then
on.
you get all their
You're
business.
doing this wrong. Personal secrets. You need to have something where you
those come with it, obviously.
You want to get this guy under your thumb, and you want to let him know that in any moment you could freak out and ruin his life, and that's why he'll stick with you.
Yeah. Like, I know you videotape,
Exactly. Like I know you. Let's just say you're a bit like Rex Ryan, if you know what I mean.
Well,
I know about the thermos tape.
There you go.
Justin, thanks so much for doing a weird job today.
Man.
We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for being a good sport, buddy. When's the next time we'll see you?
I'm hoping to be down for the BDM barbecue. That's the goal.
All right.
But I turned 40 like 3 weeks before that, so gotta kind of figure that out too.
All right.
Well, I mean, the birthday's just happened. What
are you figuring out?
You can't stop it. I mean,
you're figuring out your own celebration?
Yeah, well, and time off work and stuff.
Gotcha. That's like a sad
time is
turn.
money.
Justin, do a quick commercial for becoming a BDM. Put your salesmanship into it.
Yeah, if you want to just be part of a group that is always there for you, no matter what happens, Tom and Dan have created basically the best group of people that there has ever been. There's no money spent.
Yeah. And not no matter what happens. There are certain.
There are big lines in the sand for me, buddy. Like big lines.
I'm like, I can't defend
for
that.
6 hours on a cruise, and people were trying to find a door key to get into my door.
But people were
that's fine. Pass it out.
People were also trying to stick tissues in your beak crack.
That's fair. I was passed out.
All right.
Yeah. Well, Justin, man, we appreciate it, and we'll talk to you and see you soon. All right.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
All right, buddy. Be good.
Justin's a good guy.
Yeah, the Zoom audio works.
Yeah.
That's the way we got to do it.
That's the way.
That's the
See,
way.
we learned.
Two grandpas using Zoom audio. Yeah, I can hear my granddaughter like it crystal clear.
Yeah. We're out there. We did a lot of bad audio before we just figured out today.
Now, are people going to miss the bad audio? Because for a minute, remember when 4K came out, and then there was a group of people that
too
like
clear.
Too clear.
Yeah. But I don't need it this clear. Like I see the blemishes in my news anchors now.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Let's take a break, and we'll come back with more corporate time. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're live on Twitch and YouTube. Come join us. Just search for @Tom and Dan Live. Like and subscribe on YouTube. It really does help us out. We just built out brand new cameras, brand new computer, and it really helps us out if you go to YouTube and hammer that subscribe button.
The Orlando Science Center is doing their Science Night Live on Saturday.
Yeah, man.
You can go to osc.org and get your tickets. Members get a little discount on the tickets. It's an adult night, so you can walk around the Science Center, have some drinks. This one is themed the science of superheroes.
Yeah,
so
man.
if you're into superheroes, a great date night for you and your partner to walk around the Science Center, have some drinks.
And it's DC superheroes, I feel like, which is the most adult of the superheroes. You know, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman.
Old school.
Men and women, Wonder Woman, The Flash.
Yeah. And they have their brand new superhero DC exhibit out there that you can check out. So again, it's osc.org for tickets and get them before it sells out, because these Science Night Lives, they always end up selling out because you just wander around the Science Center and have some drinks. Like, it's a pretty good night.
For those of you that aren't that creative, it can make you look like you are creative. If you're like, oh, hey, honey, I got to stick us to this. And then you're the what? You know, it's better than going to the movie. You can't talk at the movies.
Yeah, no. And I like the fact that you could walk around, have some drinks, and then the schedule's on you.
Right.
So, you know, like you because they always have guest
That's
speakers.
true.
And then you do as much as you want.
Yeah.
And then you,
Or if it goes horrible, you hide in the bathroom and text your date you left, pop back out and enjoy the exhibition all to yourself. That's what I would
Call
do.
that the Flash.
Like, I have diarrhea. And
then you see her on the second floor. You're like, oh, my God.
I feel better now.
Joey Mazant and Casey Haller here.
Howdy.
Hey, guys.
We're doing a little combo today. I like it. We're mix and matching.
Mix and match.
Mixing and matching. Or we're overbooking. You decide. You decide.
I like a mix and match.
I charge the same regardless.
Wait, they're paying you?
This guy's such a natural optimist. The mix and match. On his feet.
So before we start, Casey, where are you playing?
On Friday, I will be at Old Man Frank's in Winter Haven. On Saturday, I will be at Cherry Pocket in Lake Wales. And on Tuesday, I will be at the Whiskey and Dr. Phillips.
All right, awesome.
Come out and see me.
I like both. I like all of those names.
Yeah.
Old Man Frank's. I look like Old Man Frank. Cherry Pocket. Goes without saying. I just love the name.
Pop a couple.
And what was the last one?
The Whiskey.
The Whiskey. People in the chat room are saying they love that place.
Oh, the Whiskey's fantastic.
Yeah.
One of the best burgers I've ever had.
Yeah, the chat room is like going nuts for Keyed Up BDM says he says we need to stop by the Whiskey and check that place out.
So we're going to talk about a bunch of different subjects today, but let's talk theme parks.
Oh, boy.
Because it seems like, because it's so hot outside, like the other day was just scorching.
Wasn't there a record or something?
We're hitting some for this time we're hitting some record highs because we're not even really into. I mean, we have more days before summer starts, right? We're not summer yet. I think it's like what is it, like 15? It'll roll around here on this little thing.
No, it's summer.
And it'll tell you, no, it's like the official day of summer has not started yet, I don't believe.
Yeah, I think like June 1st, I know, is the first day of hurricane season. But it seems like May and June, like this happened a couple years ago where it's like incredibly hot.
Yeah.
And then in July and August, I know it's the same thing, but it always rains when it gets to a certain temperature. But in May and June, it just gets to that temperature without rain. And then
it's out.
Then it becomes like desert, crazy, blazing hot.
And it does that thing where it hangs, like where you can feel
like
the water in the air.
radiation.
Yeah,
and it steams you.
Yeah, and it just kind of hangs in the air, and it has to decide whether or not it's going to dump or not.
So it seems though, like anytime there's weather like this, I think this must be scaring a lot of people away from the parks because of the heat. And then I'm like, wonder if there's a advantage to that. And then if you know the parks, you can have a less busy day or go there in the afternoon if you got your passes. And then when all the tourists get too hot and leave, then you got the place to yourself, or at least the less crowded. Is that true, Joey?
We talked about this before. Back in the day, it was I get to pick the time we show up at the park, and I'll let you pick when we leave. So if it's hot, we'll go hit the pool at 3, or if the weather's nice, we'll rock it until fireworks. So you got to be there at 7 a.m. Now people are like, look, my kids want to sleep until 2 in the afternoon, so let's not even go to the park until 4. And I used to say, well, then I can't help you. Now I'm like, that sounds like a damn good idea. Let's go to the park at 4 o'clock because all those early risers are like, I'm checked out. My kids are hot. We're going to the pool. Friggin' Helios is $1,000 a night to stay there. Let's go take advantage of what we're spending all of our money on. So that's kind of the new way things are. People are doing the back half of the day. It's pretty awesome.
But that doesn't create any sort of advantage or value to me going out there or my family because everybody else has that idea. So there's no.
No, because you're not wrong. The people that are invested early to rise, there are people that will always be that early bird special. There is a sect of people that'll say, I get there when it opens and I stay until I can't walk anymore. So for people like you and your family and your boys, you could show up at 4 o'clock and say, hey, we're just going to hit the 3 good rides we actually want to do. We're going to go grab some churros and a burger and call it. So
that's the way that I always did it with Andrea when we had our passes and we got the most out of it was when we would just go there and do a couple rides and get out. Almost like we did 2 hours and we were out.
Yeah.
And it always felt like that's when we were cheating the park because it's like we got there. I'll give you for instance, we got there, we went to Epcot, we go to Cava, we get a margarita that we want, then we hit Soarin'. And then maybe one other ride, and we're out in less than 2 hours. And it was almost like a date night, you know?
Yeah.
Because the staying for the longest time is when you end up running into problems, I feel like.
Correct.
You know?
We were just at Epic Universe last night. Same thing. We did sun up to sundown because I'm taking pictures for my YouTube channel, and we're there hanging out. We get there at 7:30 in the morning, and the new Harry Potter ride, 180 minutes at 9 o'clok in the morning. It opened up to 180 minutes.
God,
it's longer than the movie.
Yeah, I know. You're right.
And
that's a really good old man joke. Write that down. God damn, you are your dad. I'm gonna hug you right now.
You can die now, Jeff. Son took it all off.
He's got them. Hold on, I gotta give him
Rest
the golden
your
hand.
eyes.
You earned this wand, sir. You're a wizard, Harry. Oh my God.
So
everything.
Let me complain for a second.
You're a musician, Casey.
So I went to Hollywood Studios a little bit for Tommy's.
It's just weird hearing you say that.
I know,
right?
For Tommy's birthday because he wanted to go there.
I like that he does the reverse Dan R. Dennis, where on my birthday I'd want to go to eat Mexican food and my dad would force me to go to a seafood restaurant. Your son forces you to go to a theme park on his birthday.
Well,
I like that.
It's mainly Crystal. He didn't even want to go.
No one was happy.
Crystal's like, we have the passes, and it only cost me 1 extra ticket for you, so we'll do this for him to make his birthday magical. I'm like, well, he doesn't even want to go. Really. He said, I'll just stay home and play Roblox. And she's like, well, I'm not going to let him do that. I'm not going to let him do what he wants to do. He's going to do what I... Oh, God.
The anger is real.
That's what my dad said. That's what my dad said. Yeah.
Magic's not always good.
Yeah, that's
I punched the goddamn mic into my face. Anyway, sorry, Joey.
You're good.
Here's what I want to complain about. So I'm at... we did the thing where we show up at 4. Still miserable. I'm like, we showed up at the hottest part of the day.
You want to know why I know?
Yeah.
You want to know why I know he's miserable? Because he was posting. That's how I knew you were miserable. You posted a picture of a warm beer, and I'm like, this mother effer is mad.
My family went somewhere.
This
Boy,
hot
leave
piss
me.
over here. Yeah.
When's the last time Tom social medias you? He Instagrammed a warm beer.
They're like, Chris, I feel your energy is radiating off of you and you're like poisoning all of us. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm just standing here.
I'm melting.
I'm just standing here with a warm beer. Who the hell are you?
I have a smile on. I've made sure to fake smile this entire time. Anyway.
Oh, my God.
So we're there, and then Chris was
I'm so glad Casey's here.
Casey, he's kind of like me. He's
Yes,
like old man
we
spirit.
needed a little
You don't wanna
more.
do
We
this.
needed a little more grumpy here today.
Yeah. So we're standing there, and then Chris was like, do you want to get a drink? I'm like, of course I do. And
That's
then,
why we're at Hollywood Studios.
And then she's like, I saw on the reels that sometimes you can go over and ask, because what's that? The cantina?
Olga's Cantina.
Yeah. We're in the Star Wars.
I like how mad you already said it. What's that goddamn cantina?
So the cantina's there, and then Chris was like, I saw sometimes. that like it's booked out because of reservations, but sometimes people don't show up in the afternoon because they get reservations, and the rich people don't show up. They're like, some dad's like, I'm not going back in there. And, so then you can actually get in pretty quickly. So I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna stand in the shade.
You didn't listen to her. Did you? All
right, are we going or are we not going?
So then she goes up and she's like, it worked. She's like, the lady said 15 minutes. And I'm like, all right. Then I'm standing there, and then they call our name. And I'm like, all right. So then we go inside, and then I'm walking in, and it's the damn cantina,
I'm in the goddamn holy Star Wars.
So, it's the band playing animatronic.
Man. Where's Darth Vader?
and then I'm like, okay, well, it worked. I'm like, I cannot believe that what my wife saw on the reels worked. I'm like, I cannot wait to sit down at a cool as the AC. There's a booth, and I'm like, I can't wait to sit down in a booth, enjoy some, it's going to be
shot by Han Solo.
It's going to be an $18 or $19 IPA, but I'm willing to buy it.
It's fine, and they put a little dry ice in it. They put a light in it.
Don't you ruin my story, Joey.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know what's going to happen.
They put a little light in it. They put some.
I know you know what's going to happen.
I know, wait. I'm ready. I'm ready.
How much will you pay for a tentacle and some dry ice hanging out of?
Wait, it's got alcohol. I don't even care anymore. I know it's going to be an insane bill.
They don't have alcohol there.
They do. Yeah.
I'll drink a tentacle with some dry ice.
Yeah. Whatever.
$32.
If it has alcohol, I just want to sit in an ice cold booth.
I'll shotgun right out of Han Solo's BA. I don't even care.
Yeah, I just want to sit down and have some booze to numb myself from the day. And then the waitress is like, right this way, Van family. And I'm like, okay, I'm walking by. I'm like, I'll give everybody a thumbs up. I can't wait. Joey is right about this. It's not that bad.
I'm Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. And then she's like,
look at me, Luke Skywalking away from you guys.
She's like, here's your table, sir. And I'm like,
right here.
I'm like, well, where's the chairs? Where's at least a stool? I understand maybe I won't get the booth, no stool, standing only. Here's our standing table. And then I look around, and there's lines of standing tables. And they're like, what would you like to drink? What tentacle would you like to drink? And I'm like, I'm standing. Where's the booth? So no, you can't get the booth.
Wait a minute.
Sold out.
Really? Did they put you at one of those Essie little tiny bean tables?
Of course they did, Joey. And I'm so close to some other tourist. He's miserable too.
They make you share the table with some a-hole from Boise, Idaho, and he wants to tell you why he's here and all about his family, and you're like, God.
Would you like a $37 tentacle? I'm not joking. We left. Chris was like, oh, you can't sit, and the boys are just standing, and then it's packed.
I didn't know that. I thought you could sit down. Can you get a booth?
You have to request it, and it's usually 45 to 70 minutes extra to get the booth because there's only 6 of them.
How long can you stay there, though? Don't they
45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
So they
2 drink maximum.
2 drinks, and they let you get out of here.
The waitress came by, and then I'm like, we're still deciding what to go there. We just left.
Still full? No drink for you? Still full from your gleep plop?
And then after we left, I was like, at least this whole thing took 35 minutes. I'm glad, all for nothing. No tentacle, nothing.
I would have at least got a tentacle.
That's when I got my beer.
You gotta get something.
I sat down and had a beer by myself, hot outside. Then I'm like,
get on your phone, and you posted. He took a picture of I'm posting this beer, goddammit.
I'm like, I deserve this.
No, I want you to have a good experience. And I thought you were going to tell me they put me in the booth right next to where the bullet holes are. I got to sit next to the DJ, voiced by Paul Rubens. It's going to be the freaking bean table.
He loves Paul Rubens now. Oh my, this guy.
Pee-wee Herman's the voice of the DJ.
He came in 2 days ago. He's like, my favorite actor of all time, Paul Rubens.
Dude, I watched Pee-wee's Big Adventure last night, and with the family, and that movie is funny as hell.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was gonna laugh as much as I did, but now after watching the Pee-wee documentary, I'm laughing because I'm like, Paul Rubens was a great
subtle genius,
subtle actor, and that's what they said in the documentary.
Little movements.
He could do little movements, and he was doing it the whole time, and I never picked it up when I was a kid. And I'm like, this guy is super talented and funny, and based on the director, and I saw the influence. I'm like, damn, this is like some Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, and like you see, like the influence,
Tim Burton,
yeah, and then it's like even the claymation and the eyes when the Pee-wee gets lost. I'm like, man, this movie's good, and then underappreciated,
way ahead of its time. Like a lot of the gags and little similar things, and just the premise of losing his bike and it being at the Alamo is insane. And really funny to me.
Max walked out of it. Tommy said Max only likes things in 15-second increments.
It'd be hard to break him out of that.
The internet guy. I don't know what he's supposed to do now. I don't know.
He's trapped in a 15-second hell. I can't get him out of it.
I'm like, I'm sorry. I feel like I did this.
Best of luck, boyo.
I had a talk with him.
What are you supposed to do?
I talked to him last night. We got 15 seconds in. He left. I was talking to him about it.
I'm like, sometimes you screw up your kid's brains. I do. You didn't know. I was born into this environment.
Yeah, Lady Gaga.
Beat me to it.
So Casey, let's talk gigs here.
We gotta.
So, I know we've talked about this before. You don't do any of your dad's, little bits.
We haven't had the opportunity to interview him without his dad really kind of breathing down his neck.
Helicoptering around.
Yeah. Finally.
Let's kick loose.
Yeah, finally we get you. I feel like we should, first of all, we go to Rachel's and have a cold beer.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, but here's, this is coming from a dad, right? I feel like you should work in a couple little gags just to make your old man proud. You see what I'm saying? Because then
I think he's already proud.
No. But he'll be more proud if
this is the recognition obsession you have.
I'm just saying that if you just a couple of his little animatronic dog.
He doesn't do those anymore.
Yeah. Then,
I saw that. He brought it back one time recently.
Casey, look, Tom says a lot of crap, but that I support because I have been begging your father for years to do the dog tricks, and I'll be serious here, and you can tell him this, and maybe he can even watch this and tell me if I'm right or not.
Okay.
And your dad, as he got older, though, he's more of a serious musician, and I think he was doing his funk and blues.
Yeah.
And it's awesome, but it didn't. You don't want to be stopping the funk and blues to pull out an animatronic dog and have it kick what's supposed to be its pee all over your face, or do something crazy.
But the audience loves it.
They do love it. They do love it, but time and a place. So I think I understood it. But I think I support Tom with the bring back the dog tricks. The dog tricks were hilarious.
I mean, and not all of them. You don't do it, but I'm just saying you pull it out. You don't even tell him. You just do it while he's there one day, and then he'll it's like.
I see. Yeah, that's
and make a dad proud.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "Oh, he's doing my thing," and then
you've always.
No, he would have been like, "You son of a!
You stole my goddamn!
That's my dog."
I'm getting my lawyer on the line right now. You're out of the will.
You are a bit obsessed with one of your sons, and I don't know which one it's going to be, but I'm going to guess Max because he's breakdancing. Have you gotten Max to stand in front of his class and say, "Hey guys, I just want to thank my dad for this awesome piece of linoleum for the head spins that we've been doing. I love you, Dad." Like, that's what you want?
Were you
right?
a breakdancer?
No,
but you want that kind of declaration from your boys, right?
Yeah, well, I want them to and then
declare that you are the greatest dad.
It's just like
I'll say that if you want.
No.
Would you accept Casey saying you are the greatest dad?
I need my sons to do something that they got from me, but without
say I don't have that. My daughter's currently killing it in dance, and I can do nothing and had nothing to do with what she's doing.
Then what's the cane for?
The cane literally because I'm dying. Is that what you wanted me to say? I'm dying.
My bad.
But no, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if your daughter,
I get nothing out of that.
If she does, let's say she puts together a dance routine in the future, and then she adds some comedy to it, and then she does an old man bit. Or some of the other...
her pants fall down.
No. I'm saying she starts doing some sort of...
Let's say she slips on a banana peel. Maybe she can get on the PA system and thank you.
No, like doing what you used to do in radio. The old man...
jumping around with a bunch of fat rednecks playing in a band.
No, skeptical Jew. You
want my daughter to reprise the character Skeptical Jew? Not the climate right now.
No, they're saying.
You know what the world needs right now? Skeptical Jew.
Something in homage to her old man. It wouldn't make you proud.
It would. It would make me cry.
Yeah,
It'd
yeah,
make
that's
me more.
of course.
Yeah, you know it would.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
it would.
So that's what I'm saying. KC should do some homage to Jeff Howell and his just sometimes.
I'll take the note. Yeah.
That's a great question. Did you do any of your dad's songs? Any of his originals?
I don't do any of his originals. That would be weird.
Great.
Singing songs about my mom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Or it could be in right now. I don't know if people are into that.
Oh, yeah. Flip it on its head.
Well, like the fun ones. You know, like you do all your own.
Do
you have your own originals?
I don't have any originals.
Would you
That's a
do
smart move,
one brown-eyed girl?
Oh, I do. I do brown-eyed girl every night.
Do they, do the thing? Okay.
What's the thing?
If I'm
the Jeff,
lucky.
you suck thing. That's what Jeff's known for in Orlando.
Oh, that's Sweet Caroline.
Oh,
Real
Which
fan
I
here.
won't play because...
A real fan here. This guy walks up to Limp Bizkit and says, play bomb with a bomb. Real fan. Real
They
fan.
all mixed together.
I know my dad's not proud of you right now.
He's not listening.
Oh, you will, though. He'll go back and listen. We're going to get a strongly worded email, I have a feeling.
There's no way he listens.
No, he won't go back and listen.
So you don't do Sweet Caroline because of that?
Yeah, absolutely.
that's what
KC
he-
suck doesn't roll off the tongue.
Yeah, it's 3 syllables.
Yeah.
It's KCU sucks 4 syllables. Jeff, you suck is 3 syllables, is what I mean.
Yeah. But maybe they just say Jeff, you suck.
KC sucks.
Yeah, no, but they just say.
I don't have the ego for it. I would crumble on stage immediately. I would just start crying.
I always hated that for him.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, these people, because some of them yelling it really mean it.
Oh, and some people don't get that it's like rhythmic and you got to do it at certain points of the song.
Yeah.
We had this one gig where a guy would just say it all throughout the night, and it was just like horrific. It was like a villain, just like Jeff, you're terrible, and it's like you're not even getting the words right, man.
I like that. It's freestyle. I'm just doing it freestyle.
So back to the theme parks, Joey. Anything you wanted to bring up about the theme parks or going to?
Did you want to talk about Epic? Should we hit Epic one more time? Or are people done? Right, we're all done with Epic Universe, right? We know it's great.
It's now open to everybody, right?
Yeah, it's open to everybody if you can get tickets. It's the big thing. So what just opened up at Disney is they finally got that 1989 asbestos-filled corner unit where the Little Mermaid show used to be. And they finally wrecked that and the insides and built it back up, and it's a Little Mermaid show again, but now it's got more modern music, and it no longer has a VHS tape playing behind them with the little grainy thing.
Okay.
So that's all nice and clean.
Yeah, but what's most important is who's playing the mermaid.
Not my mermaid.
That's what I care about.
I didn't realize when you go in there how creepy some of the people that try to get their photos with Ariel are.
Dude,
you know?
it's
really?
weirdly aggressive. There's a lot of...
Yeah, it's like
my bad.
Yeah, I would have no problem if they were like, "Hey, kids only." Like, you know what I mean? It's like some fat ass they're like trying to hug up on her, because the Ariel that they had was absolutely gorgeous, and yeah, it was weird.
Well,
she had to do it's the first time I'd ever seen somebody in character have to do we'll move you over here. She was staying in character to minimize the situation.
Well, it's confusing because in the original movie, she was a teen and marrying Prince Eric.
She's 16 in the movie.
Yeah, who was like 27.
I think she's younger in the
At
book.
the time, totally legal.
It was filmed in Alabama. It was in Louisiana.
It was.
Yeah, it was filmed in Louisiana, right off the coast.
But what the prince was like 27 years old, and they mentioned it.
Yeah.
Fish ears are different.
Which how did they not know? Even when they're
because
writing,
we all got distracted by the priest boner. That's why we didn't know.
like when they're writing the cartoon, they're like, hey, let's just not put this part in here.
Well, if you're doing that, then don't put in the priest boner. If we're not putting stuff in, all right, let's
Well,
make
that's just true to form. Have you ever seen a priest with that one?
You know what? That's a song.
I had that VHS, by the way. Like my sister got the original, and then we played it over and over. And we're like, it's true. I was showing my mom. I was like,
look at this priest boner.
Yeah, my mom's like, that's not what they did it for.
What childhood was like for me.
So they did that thing,
And then there's one. Love this guy. The old Cars show got replaced, and now it's some defending the villains because that's trending right now. We're supposed to realize that all the Disney villains came from trauma, and we want to see their side of the story, which is literally like, Sure.
You
Okay.
can say it. You wanted to yell woke and throw your hat on
I
the
didn't
ground.
say it, though. I didn't
you wanted
say
to.
more than you could ever
I saw
imagine.
It in your eyes. He wanted to yell woke and then start stepping on his hat like an old man.
Joey looks young for his age, but he's our age.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Inside, he's a rotten old conservative.
He grew up in the 80s. You know, it's like, we didn't have the internet back then.
Don't let the sideways hat fool you.
Go on home, boy.
Let's go through the villains. And so what are they defending?
Hades.
Like
James Woods, biggest penis in Hollywood.
Cruella.
I heard that was Willem Dafoe.
No, James Woods.
Yeah. I want to see him side by side.
So,
couple of ski poles.
How do you? I could defend Cruella if I think about it. Like, she just wants,
the best looking coat.
Yeah. Like,
who doesn't want to look their best?
And depending on your culture, like getting coats from dogs may not be anything weird.
That coating the dog.
English culture.
Right? like getting some Dalmatian coats, depending on where you are born, may not be frowned upon, and so like, how dare we?
You could still do it, right?
Her.
Like if the Dalmatians were like ethically sourced.
Yeah, like if we accidentally hit him with a car, I mean, you can't waste that.
Well, I'm just saying, like I used to
lab-grown Dalmatian.
I used to rescue Dalmatians. I had 5 at one time.
Now I feel bad.
Now, if Isley and Luscious and Josie and all my Dalmatians, like if they had passed away when I had them euthanized because they passed away, and then like because of natural causes, and then I took their coat, is there a way to preserve it naturally? And then
you can do whatever you want. I mean, why burn it up and then you just take the coat?
I wasn't going to burn it up.
Honor them.
I wasn't going to
Most
burn it
people
up.
do. Like they just they cremate their animals as like use their coat. People have it taxidermied, so it's like Cruella de Vil. And also, there's no evidence that she was going to murder the dogs.
No,
right? I mean, she could have had them at some sort of ranch. She was rich until they did die of natural causes. Then used their coats.
I think she wanted to kill them. It was pretty.
She was just repurposing the dogs.
What about
and again?
What about old morbidly obese steals her voice?
Oh, the
Ursula.
Ursula.
Yeah. I find Ursula
attractive.
Super attractive.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about her that makes me think that if I crawled into her cave with I'd ask those black eel things to leave and give us some privacy.
It's weird.
Well, those are henchmen.
The more the merrier.
No, but I think they know. I think she knows her way around it.
Casey, don't say shovel. But also,
I love this guy.
Ursula, she left it up to the people. Like she's like, hey, you signed the contract, right? Like it's up to you.
Yeah.
Like
it's just business.
Do you want to? Do you have them legs and do it? Live on the up top. It's like here's the contract. I'll give it to you.
You can go up top with the boner priest.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. You're
not gonna like what you find.
You're gonna like what you find. It's gonna
like the way you look.
It ain't all boner priest.
It's a whole new world.
Nice.
Good. That's gonna write that down.
Nice.
Like a Clear Channel, we signed the contracts, giving them all our likenesses.
Yeah,
like,
it was our fault.
They set it in there. They're like, here you go. We'll pay you this, but you got to give us your likeness. It's up to you.
100%.
And we signed it, just like Ursula.
And she's a saint. Ursula could have given her broken legs. She just said, I'll give you legs. She could have given her rhino legs.
That
she said,
is,
I'll give you legs.
fine print.
You would make a crazy psycho Ursula. So you make a deal with Ariel, and then in your version, you're Ursula, and you give her broken legs? That's on her. You're a psycho, man.
She didn't even read the contract.
She didn't read the contract.
And then what, you stand over her with these new broken legs laughing? Singing with
your beautiful voice.
Singing with your
Didn't read
beautiful
the
voice.
fine print.
Man,
Your legs
that's
suck.
a dark-ass Disney movie. I'd watch it.
Suck.
I would watch that. But Ursula, back to it. I don't know why, but I've always found her to be, that's one for the bigger ladies. I have always found Ursula to be super hot.
Oh, yeah.
I feel
Super
like
hot.
I've seen a few Ursulas at 2 a.m. downtown.
Yeah, I have too. I've been with a few. Back in the day when your dad used to play at T's and Q's, they called me the Ursula. They called me the Ursula Slayer. Actually, you know what they called me? David. It was just me and my slingshot against all these Goliaths, and I'd bring them all down.
Like the religious connotation.
Yeah, I'd bring them all down. Then they stole my monster dog tag.
Ink my face.
All right.
Oh, you cursed, Joey.
No, I said, no, I didn't.
Oh, I thought you said the S word.
No,
Sorry.
never.
We'll move on.
Moving. Having too much fun. Sorry.
So, did anybody figure out, and did they shut down the loophole of renting the campsite and getting 10 free passes to the water park?
No.
Okay, still going
Yeah, it's
on?
still there.
But
I think they don't care. I think right now business is so dead, they're like, whatever.
We did get an update. It is being changed, though, to 8. They're taking away 2
That's
eggs.
correct.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Is it 8 or 6?
Or 6. It might be 6. Yeah, it's being changed.
It's being changed. They're
there is an
lessening the
update.
number.
Get it before it changes.
Yeah.
It's 10 right now.
They're
Why don't
selling
you-
like hotcakes.
You might want to explain it again, though, just in case, because we're,
There's a
kinda
loophole
screaming and
where
Having fun.
if you book a Fort Wilderness campsite, like just the pad or whatever, it comes with 10 free passes to a water park. And because those campsites have up to 10 guests, whatever. So you don't even have to go there, but the day of your booking, that it'll put the 10 free passes into your Disney wallet or whatever the hell the app, and then you could basically go to the water park and get 10 people in, and that's the savings. How much is a ticket to
We figure
Typhoon?
if it's going to be around like $69, 10 people, that's $700 to get the room. It's $130, so you're saving $600.
Yeah. And so
it's real savings too. And
Yeah.
but
worked.
we did have some listeners that did it after you. And they were, I think maybe they were questioning if it had to do with a discrepancy in what they were booking at Fort Wilderness, but it's not going to be 10 anymore. It was going to end up being 6.
Yes.
Okay, so
But
just
it
check
still
before.
works. It still works.
Still savings.
Yeah.
And then honestly, if you wanted to just book another one, and get 12.
Yeah,
Whoa.
it's exactly
Yeah,
right.
well, then you're cutting your the edge
You
out.
are, but depending on how many people you have,
It's only 15% better at that
you
point.
might have to do it.
And Disney moves slow sometimes, so it may still be 10, and they may be changing that to 7 down the line. So just check online first. But there's very rare.
No, it's 8. It's 8. I found the email. This is from our buddy John. He's a great listener. Always updates us on stuff. He said Fort Wilderness site capacity is changing from 10 to 8 starting next year, so January 1.
Okay, yeah, you have time.
You have time.
Get that 10 in because I'm sure they
There you
know.
go.
There's nothing they don't know. It's just like Joey said. They at this point in time, which is weird because it's the hottest part of the year. So you think the water parks would be packed? They're
not.
But it's even
Why
too
is
hot
that?
for water parks.
Is it just? Yeah, I mean, but I mean,
That's
honestly,
weird. It's water.
If you go to a water park, I don't care if it's a Disney water park, a Vegas water park, I don't care how cool the area is, Walmart at 2 a.m. is still Walmart at 2 a.m. That is what a water park is. Water park is Walmart at 2 in the morning. You can't unsee the things you see at a water park.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. It's not for everybody.
It is not for everybody.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, now, but you would choose the water park over theme park all day long. Because at least you put your feet in there and get a beer.
And you see the high side thongers.
Yeah.
And let's finish with that. There are no full back bathing suits anymore. Even old grannies are wearing thongers.
Yep.
Everybody has their ass out.
Do you
I
think
feel so embarrassed at the beach.
With your ass out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no way to get to the top of the water slide without climbing some steps, as my pop-up used to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it eliminates a certain amount of people from even going there because they can't do anything because they don't want to climb the steps, right?
A lot of the bigger people can't go on the water park rides. That is true.
Yeah. So they're not going to pay for it, and it's like if you want to go to an uncrowded place in nature, go to the hardest place to get to.
But I
It'll
would
be
watch,
less crowded.
but we need an
Athletes
escalator.
Huh?
We need an escalator. So
They're
I can
gonna
watch.
build one.
So I can watch these people go down these slides. 'Cause I think
Conserve their momentum.
Yeah.
Shoot them back up when they go down.
Oh, I like that.
God, I will say I
like
was.
that.
We were at Typhoon Lagoon and we were riding the family ride, and so there's a ride that basically is like a big open float that you sit in that fits 5 people.
It's a tube where you sit Indian style and try to look at every other wife's camel toe. Everybody does it. Don't act crazy. You sit in there, and if you're with other wives, you look at the camel toe.
I was with another wife that day. I looked right at her camel toe.
You got to look right at it.
Because there's no way to hide it when you're sitting Indian style.
And if you're really dangerous like me, you go, "Morning, lady," and you just tip your hat.
And I could use the word
Madame.
Indian style if I mean Indians from India.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
But
yes.
I thought they weren't from India. I thought that was American.
No, but I'm saying
he's
I mean
applesauce
Indians
style.
from India.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
His intent is his own.
Because they, I think, like to sit like that too, right?
Well, in
They
my
can
mind.
sit however they want.
Well, just the character I'm creating in my mind is an Indian man who likes to sit Indian style.
But is they
Like
the
a
right
camel
pronoun?
shows.
So anyway, I'm riding the conveyor belt up, right? And it's a scorcher, right? So I'm sitting there, and then my wife's behind me, and she's with some of our friends, and I'm with some of our friends and the kids, and then they stop the conveyor belt, in the middle, right? And they're like, ma'am, they're like, please hold the handles. You must hold handles at all times.
What's your wife taking a TikTok?
No, she's just not, because we're sitting again, Indian style, on the conveyor belt, waiting to go down the slides.
They make you hold the sides, yeah.
And then if you're not holding the sides,
I got yelled at for that too.
Yeah, they stop the ride.
Yeah.
And then there's some sort of safety mechanism that holds the, it can't be restarted for like 3 minutes or something, right?
Yeah. We got to bake these people. Bake them good.
So then I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah! And there's no way to get out of it. I'm in the middle of a conveyor belt, and we're all holding the sides, and I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm like, don't.
You're in a human factory at that point, just being canned.
And I'm like, there has to be a better way. And then we found like they may have stopped the ride to get someone out.
Diarrhea.
They may have been handicapped or something at the bottom. And I'm like, there has to be
oh my God, they got handicapped at the bottom.
That's the worst time to do it. They make them ride the whole thing.
Where they have to stop the whole thing.
This man's paralyzed.
Which is, it's fine with me. I'm okay with it. No big deal. It's just baking in the sun. So hot.
I hate it when they, you know what, I hate it. It's not to make fun of what you do, Joey, but I don't like it when they try to make it whimsical, where like you're on a ride,
Dude.
like I'm in the Haunted Mansion, and it stops because I know you got a handicapped person back there, and I know you got to get them on and off, and I understand that's the beauty of those rides is everybody can ride it, and everybody can enjoy the magic. But then the ghost comes on, and he's like... He'll do like, excuse me, the ride has suddenly been stopped because a morbidly obese person needs their porter scooter.
Looks like we have a new ghost joining us.
This is one of the largest ghosts I've ever seen.
And then when he does turn into a ghost, which will be soon, he is a big ghost, which is unfair.
The corpulent corpse.
Why?
There's always room for 100 pounds more.
I'd be mad if I ended up being a fat ghost at the afterlife.
Well, I'm going to end up being a little ghost. How do you think I feel? I don't get to choose being a big ghost. You know why I know I don't
get to choose?
No, I do not. You know why I know? Because none of you guys have let me ever forget. At 48 years of living, no one's ever let me forget. You think I could go 1 year without being called short? Never. It'll never happen. I'm guaranteed a tiny ghost.
And we know from Coco, you just become a version of yourself.
Little. And I think I'm going to be really little because
you're going to be smaller.
You know why? Because there's like comedy in the afterlife. There's a series of like irony and like there's some funniness there, right? Mm-hmm. And they're going to shrink me down maybe like Tom and Jerry size.
Maybe you'll be giant. Maybe they'll flip it on its head.
No, tiny little mouse. You can barely see me.
You are what you are in the afterlife. You're a big fat ant. Like, how are you a fat skeleton? It doesn't make any sense. But somehow you are.
But you're going to be the worst one. You're going to be dumb guy. That's real bad. He's bumping into everything. He's trapped in the garage.
Drop my brain.
I can't get out of the grandfather clock again.
How do I even have the same personality? I don't even have my brain. Can't you pick a personality? Anyway, sorry, Joe.
No. I was going to say, while we're on this subject, the only thing worse than the pre-recorded, like, your doom buggy has stopped, is when you get this underpaid college a-hole who thinks he's practicing his Type 5 for the Comedy Central. And he's on his like, hey, so there's a rhino in the road. I hope he doesn't gallop in the I'm like, dude, shut up.
They mess it up.
And I just got to lose my mind.
Well, they have to do, they're taking some improv classes. They're like, I'll practice at work. I'll be a character.
Also, people aren't quiet enough when the ride stops. That's another thing I've noticed is that like when the doom buggy stops, it used to be like everybody would kind of freeze in fear and be quiet. Now you get like a lot of like people just like they can't sit still.
Get me out!
So they have to start like yelling obscenities or like
it's going to have 5G in here.
They're yelling like pee pee poo poo. They're just screaming like skibbity toilet. Like,
it's weird. Just pull your phone out and look at it. Like we have the ability. Like in the 90s, we had nothing.
Entertain yourself.
We just had to look at the animatronic pirate do the same thing over and over. That's all we had.
And then you know what you were? No phone. You just sit there and you'd be like, look at the way that vinyl buckles when his arm moves. You know, that's all you think about. That would be it.
So, last but not least, is there anything new on the horizon with any of the parks? Has Disney seen Epic and said, all right, we're going to announce something?
You'll see.
You know, like we have to compete because it does seem like Universal is...
winning the race right now. Well, there's the new park that's opening in Abu Dhabi. Disney's. I really think that Disney's kind of taken a... They're like, look, it is what it is
Disney.
right now. Abu Disney. But the problem that they're having is they said... Out there, the characters are they're not supposed to show skin, but how they got around it in the DC park is Harley Quinn is only wearing a tiny little top and a little thonger, but a peach-colored suit. So it's like she still looks naked. Is that really a workaround?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't see the blemishes.
No, we're not talking about like looking at the old family ride camel toe.
So it's like...
Should have talked about that.
But, and they're
Should not have talked about that.
And they're putting it in a dome. So... The greenhouse effect is a thing. Like, they know that their AC bill is going to be like $3 billion.
They're putting it in an AC dome?
Yeah,
no,
that's cool.
They don't care.
In the desert.
Yes.
That's cool.
It's cool. It's oil money cool, but it's... I mean, come on.
I hope they do the move that
How high is it?
I guess high. 200 feet is aviation law. So.
I really hope they do
Can
the
they
move.
fly in there like a small like
drones.
aircraft?
Yeah, like
drones.
That'd
be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. I like it when, and they do this at duty free in Mexico, like blast in the air, leave there's no doors. We just, we let the AC. We hate the earth so much that we're blasting it, and we're keeping this rum cold for you. We are just burning AC right out. I hope they have big doors and the AC is just pouring into the world.
Building a theme park in a dome in the desert is awesome. Like unlimited money.
That's like a weird horror movie. Yeah. It's like Jurassic Park.
It's like Biodome.
It's very, it's very Biodome, Jurassic Parky kind of a thing.
What's Pauly Shore up to?
Is the dome like? I guess the domes like? Can you see through it, or is it totally covered?
It's all hypothetical. They just bought the land, so they haven't even stuck a shovel in the ground.
There's
yet.
no way you can see through it because everything that you can start to see through gets that haze over it like a skylight.
It'd be awesome if they made it like the inside of the dome in Vegas where it's all LED screen, so they change the world. Like,
which side are you on? Do you want your sons addicted to everything? It'd be awesome if there's a whole dome and with 15 seconds of
unlimited oil money. They have unlimited.
Want you to experience the world with them.
Yeah, what side of technology you are? You are such an enigma.
Yeah,
man.
but I want to see them build. Is it like we're at the end of it? We're at the end of oil. I want to see them do something spectacular with their last bit of oil money.
Yeah,
like,
they fought for
the world is changing. Soon we
end of oil.
I think they got a little bit of runway. Yeah.
Build some spectacular, crazy LED dome that blows up. Like, I'll travel for that to some crazy slave country.
Now let me tell you. What if they, if they were smart, what they would do is take the idea that you had and take the biggest property in the world right now that people are addicted to and build the Roblox Dome.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I mean,
and then kids can go there, and you're inside Roblox.
Yeah, I want to see I need to see the future. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been waiting my whole life to see the future, and
I kind of want to go, like, just to pull it back a couple of notches. I kind of do want to go see the Vegas Dome,
dude.
See a concert there,
dude.
It looks amazing.
It's so good.
All the videos.
You've been? Oh, you've been twice.
Yeah, it's so good.
Can you talk about
that's
it?
cool.
Yeah, the Eagles.
What'd you think of the Eagles?
It looks like you're driving in a car as they play Hotel California. It is the sickest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Does it mess with your equilibrium?
I wish alcohol wasn't my only vice because I feel like I could be on something that would make that so much cooler.
Oh yeah, there's videos on TikTok where people take shrooms and go in there, and then they blows their shroom mind. And like just the video looks insane. I can't even really understand. Because I've never seen anything like it. So I'm like, what the hell? It looks fake. It doesn't even, it looks like someone layered some CGI
Would
on
you
there.
cry? I wouldn't cry.
No.
Bert Kreischer cried. I wouldn't cry.
But that is like the future. It's like, wow, I've never seen anything like that.
And it's double-sided. So you'll be in the stratosphere on the 120th floor eating, and you can look out the window, and you'll see the dome like a giant smiley face. And then you go inside of it, and it's like the Backstreet Boys are in there performing on concert. And it looks like
it's crazy. Casey.
God damn, this technology, man. I'm telling you. All right. Well, tell us what you're playing, Casey.
You want some good old-fashioned acoustic music.
Acoustic guitar?
Well, if you ever want to calm your eyeballs down from them 15-second bursts and get you some good old music in your ears.
You my brown-eyed girl.
Where are you at again?
I am in Winter Haven on Friday at Old Man Frank, 7 to 11. Then I'm at Lake Wales Saturday, Cherry Pocket, 6 to 10. Tuesday, I'm in Dr. Phillips at the Whiskey, 9 to 12. Come in and see me.
Love it.
And Joey, how can people contact you if they want a private tour of any of the parks?
Thank you. Just at the Joey Mazant on all social media platforms. Hop on my YouTube channel. You can see me acting a fool in the parks and having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, Joey will take you and your family around, and he knows all the tricks to make it easy for you. So if you know, I mean, it's just as good as any tour you'd buy with the theme parks.
Without a doubt.
Except for they get you in,
I got stories. We'll talk off.
You might have the connection. You never know. You never know.
You just got to pretend you know. All right. We will see you tomorrow.